All right, here we are.
The much anticipated bonus episode where we got all of 7 questions in.
Yes. All right. 7 more than I expected.
Well, you have a point there. Although, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are from Jeff. I put in one put in from Casey, and we got one from Finish the Fight.
We did.
So
thanks, guys.
shout out to you guys. Appreciate it.
Right at the very end. They got it in.
Well, that's all that matters.
That's it.
We appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate your podcast. It's a good podcast. If you haven't listened to it, highly recommend it. Finish the Fight.
All right.
A Halo podcast.
And we are here with a very special guest.
Yes, we are here with Baloney. Our buddy Casey.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't.
Well,
He's giving me a look right now.
He's the and in Hammy spam.
No, I like Baloney better just because it makes him mad.
I'll deal with and. I'm not dealing with baloney.
Casey was one of the people that is very integral. Is that right?
I'm sure.
Okay. With the development and launching of Ham and Spam.
Oh, yeah.
Because it started as an idea, and then all of a sudden Casey's like, okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I was like, he texted us like two that morning and said, by the way, I made y'all a website.
Yeah. Really took the bull by the horns.
Yeah, you really did.
I make things happen. I'm a doer of things.
And he did them.
Yeah. And just like he said, he's going to come down for the podcast, for the bonus episode. And by gosh, the 2.5 hour drive from Huntsville, and he's here. Very tired looking right now.
I can take a nap, yeah. It's very relaxing in here.
He's also wrapped up because he's a lot smaller than we are.
Yeah.
It's -4 degrees in
It's
here,
not
just for anybody
-4.
listening.
It's probably 68.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Outside.
-2.
It's a full 10 degrees colder than my house is right now. I guarantee it.
So, well, Casey, it's good to see you. It's been a minute since we've actually got to see you in person, and I'm glad you got to come down.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Be part of the experience this time.
Yeah.
So, you
Get
said
to
you're a little
see
nervous.
what it's all about.
Well, it's not about a whole lot of anything. There's lots of paint fumes in here still right now from where we painted.
Yeah, I passed out last time.
Really did. So yeah.
You hear it clicking?
I do hear it clicking.
What is that?
The fan?
Let's go. All right, we're good.
Oh.
Press on.
Thank you for editing. So, all right, well, let's start it off. I said we had a total of 7 legit questions come in. I hear it again. Okay.
Had a few technical.
Yeah, that's on us. So if things don't sound as smooth, that's why. So anyway, we're going to go to the first question from Jeff. It's a pretty easy question. Jeff asks, what is your favorite cereal? So mine has kind of changed over the years. I was much like every other kid. There's always sugary and sweet, but as far as a favorite, man, I would have to say my favorite cereal, at least growing up, was probably a tie between Cookie Crisp and Fruity Pebbles.
Cookie Crisp was good.
Cookie Crisp is still good. As I got a little older, it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch because that's really good. And then I kind of morphed into Crunch Berries. Captain Crunch Berries. Yeah. I'm getting no reaction, so I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
What's your stance on Honey Bunches of Oats?
I don't think I've ever really tried it, to be honest with you. It's an old person cereal.
We're old.
Well, now, because that's what I was going to lead into. My new favorite is probably Raisin Bran.
Wouldn't old person cereal be oatmeal?
No, because it's not a cereal.
Oatmeal's disgusting.
Oh, I do like oatmeal.
What I'm saying is I don't think old people eat cereal.
They eat grape nuts.
I mean, they don't have teeth.
That's old people.
That's an old people. Or just brand cereal.
Or cornflakes without
sugar. I do love some Frosted Flakes too.
Yeah.
It's all just whatever you're into for the mood. Like if you've eaten 3 or 4 boxes of one thing in a row over the last 3 days, you kind of get a taste for something else. You're like, I kind of want something different.
I think when I was a kid, it changed every week. So whatever I was eating. But I think overall,
whatever's on sale that week.
Overall, I'm going to go with Fruit Loops.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I don't know why. I mean,
I'm okay with that. It's not a favorite though.
I shouldn't like it, but I do.
It's a let's throw it in the cycle just to change it up just a little bit.
I think it's because of air freshener. You got me for my truck.
Smells like Fruit Loop bowl of cereal.
What was it? Weird Beard.
Yeah, Weird Beard Candle Company.
Yeah, it smelled like Fruit Loops, and it nearly drove me insane because I went through like 3 or 4 boxes of Fruit Loops in a very quick time.
Apple Jacks is one that I like pretty well.
Corn Pops,
Sugar Smacks,
Reese's Puffs.
I'd take it or leave those.
What? Get out.
Well, a funny thing happened back in the day. My mom bought some Captain Crunch, and she got like, regular Captain Crunch, which I like a lot now because it doesn't turn my poop green.
Yeah.
But she would.
It's always a plus for any food.
Exactly. That's probably why it's one of my favorites right now. But she'll get the Crunch Berries, of course, and I think she got the regular, just the little yellow square Captain Crunch, and then she got the Peanut Butter Crunch. Well, we were out of cereal one day, and I've got this big, huge bowl. I'm talking about like this is straight up adolescent Clint. Got this big, huge bowl.
It's actually a punch bowl.
It's like a salad bowl, no joke. Anyway, I poured like half a box of Peanut Butter Crunch into it.
Big salad bowl.
It
what
is.
Salads were you eating?
Massive. Anyway, a whole bunch of Casey's asleep, by the way.
He passed out from the paint fumes.
Well, I'm gonna blame that, but I figured his tolerance will be a little higher for paint fumes.
I don't know why you would think that, but anyway, proceed.
I don't know. I'm just trying to make conversation, and we're dead right now.
I like.
Oh, hold on.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I made myself sick. I made myself sick off Peanut Butter Crunch because the bowl was too big, and like I can't hardly eat anything peanut butter cereal.
So you ate too much.
I ate too much. I did that with Captain D's one time too. Ate too much fish.
That's not possible. All right. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Casey?
Yep. And Raisin Bran as a kid, which
Raisin
is
Bran was
weird.
good.
Yeah.
Dad always liked Raisin Bran. Dad would make a big, huge bowl of Raisin Bran and just let it sit and get soggy. And
Yeah. That's when it's good.
I think it was like when you stay with the grandparents or something.
Sure.
And they always had Raisin Bran.
I always had to add
reason.
sugar to it, though. Still to this day. So
Really?
I add sugar.
Nice.
Yes.
The raisin was the sugar.
No.
Like you had to make sure
No.
you had one raisin in
No,
each
it's
bite.
kind of like regular cornflakes. You put some sugar
See,
on
I'll
the
give
bad
you
boys.
cornflakes and Rice Krispies and Cheerios, but
Okay.
not one that's already got sugar in it.
And that's very, very minute sugar. That's probably why I'm going to be a borderline diabetic here in the next couple of years.
If you're not there by now, you're not going to get there, so you're good.
What about Raisin Bran Crunch? I like that.
I've never had that.
I had it.
It's good.
Was it got granola or something?
Yeah, it's got a little granola in it.
I like granola for the most part. So, did we all answer that?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios is really good.
It is.
Much
That was-
better than regular Cheerios.
What about Trix? You remember Trix?
Yeah, they're for kids.
Yeah, I hated those commercials.
Yeah.
I felt
Trix
bad
now,
for the
Trix
rabbit.
now is terrible
Really?
because they've gotten rid of all the artificial colors and preservatives and stuff.
Oh man.
So it all looks like brown, like everything's like tinted brown.
Ugh.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. And let me ask you this: did you prefer Trix when it was the fruit shapes, or when it's just the little balls?
I like the little balls.
You like the little balls, like the little kicks or whatever? We're going to save that for later, by the way.
I never had a Life cereal.
I love Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Life is fantastic.
You live in the cinnamon life.
Did we mention
am.
Lucky Charms?
Oh, we didn't.
No,
I
Lucky
like
Charms is kind of a here and there kind of thing.
But
for
it's
me.
kind of like a Raisin Bran thing. Like, with Raisin Bran, you have to have a raisin in each bite. Like, you have to have a marshmallow
Sure.
in each bite.
Yeah,
of Lucky
really.
Charm.
It's like the marshmallow alphabets. Mom used to buy that crap thinking we liked it. I didn't
Man,
like
I
it.
remember that. Now, you talk about Fruity Pebbles. I like Cocoa Pebbles too.
I like Cocoa Pebbles. The only bad thing about the Pebble cereal is the box is like yay big, and you could eat like a whole box in one sitting, pretty much.
Frosted Mini Wheats.
I'm out on that.
I can take it or
What?
leave it.
Mm-mm.
I can take it or leave it. We used to put sugar on those too.
Oh, my God.
growing up.
It had frosting.
Yeah, but the milk got rid of the frosting, so you want to put more
Oh,
sugar
okay.
on it, and then scrape the bowl.
What about this? Pop-Tarts
Wow.
or Toaster Strudels?
It's always a Pop-Tart.
So you're going to be taking some insulin.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't eat a lot of cereal though.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever I do eat the cereal, like I really want it good and sweet.
Yeah. Now cereal is maybe like
Once every couple of weeks for me.
once a fortnight.
Just so you could say Fortnite.
Yeah. And the proper term of it. I'd prefer eggs and bacon and
Precisely.
stuff like that.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, after the football games last night, we went to. This is recorded on Sunday, the 15th of September. So if anything major happens between now and after episode 25, when we release this particular bonus episode, we're sorry. We don't know if anything else is going on. But after the football game, we went to Waffle House last night. Some fine vittles at Waffle House.
I love waffles,
dude. I go to Waffle House and I don't even get the waffles.
Remember we used to skip class to go to Waffle House
all the time.
You were in on that too, weren't you, Casey?
Yeah, sure.
Now, Casey
Was this college?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
It was that CC's and Jack's.
I remember
yeah,
CC's and Jack's. Not so much. I'm not a big Waffle House guy, so I may have just went to class.
That might have just been Alex.
No,
It
I
might have been
didn't
the two
go
of us
to
and Alex.
Yeah, no, Alex and I would skip class to go to.
That was the same year
Quite
as
frankly.
the
Check it out.
yeah, check it out guy, right?
Yeah, we'll have to tell that story another time
All
too. Check it out. And his cousin.
Check it out.
Well, crap. We might as well go ahead and tell the story. So we're at community college, the local community college, going to class, and we've got like 45 minutes between classes for our lunch break. So it's just enough time for a nice sit-down lunch, but it's not enough time to actually go somewhere and have a nice sit-down lunch. So we actually went to the cafeteria, which was pretty decent.
It was.
It was actually pretty decent. So we would venture down there every day. Well, with this particular day, we were all there. So it's me, Hammy, Casey, Brandon, Alex, and Alex's sister, and we're all down there. We're getting our stuff. Well, how exactly did it pertain? Did I?
It was
You got
Brandon,
up.
wasn't it?
No, it was Clint.
Oh, okay.
Clint got up to, I guess.
I had my bag with me, and I think
Yeah.
I was sitting down, and I was waiting for the line to go down before I went and got my food. Anyway, I kind of stood up, and whenever I backed away from the table, I almost bumped into this guy carrying a food tray. And he just looks at me, and he's this weird looking guy, kind of got this like scruffy, patchy beard, and I don't know. He just looked very, very weird. Anyway,
He's
he
a
just
shady customer. that
very,
one.
very shady. So anyway, like almost bumped into him, and I turned around, and before I could actually say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there, he just looks at me and just kind of gives me this like weird head bob kind of move and says, "Check it out, man." And like, I was just stunned by what he had said. And I turned and looked at Hammy, and I turned and looked at Alex and Casey and Brandon. And we just die laughing at this guy. And we just look at him and go, "Check it out." And the guy gets mad, takes his food outside.
Yeah, I was standing beside Brandon, I think, when it happened. And Brandon, Brandon's not the most, I mean, he's not a shy person, but he's not the most outgoing.
Sure.
Well, he just starts basically yelling, "Check it out," across the cafeteria. And I'm just dying out laughing. And this dude's just like looking around like, what the heck did I do? What's going on? I guess he didn't know there was like 7 of us rolling up.
Yeah, we kind of ganged up on him.
Yeah.
I know a couple of weeks later, Brandon said they were going the back way out and saw "Check It Out" with another guy sitting there smoking a cigarette.
All right.
And Brandon said, "Check it out and check it in." So we never found out who Check It In was, but there's a Check It In also
They're out there somewhere.
and they have no idea who they are because we kept calling them Check It Out. Check it out. So that's a Check It Out story. If you ever hear us say just check it out, that's what we're talking about.
Do you remember we had our own parking lot, obviously?
We just talked about that the last episode.
Okay, so did you talk about you driving your Thunderbird into the
bark?
Okay, yeah.
Pile of bark?
Yeah, the bark, yeah.
Now, the episode we're referencing is going to be episode 21, which
I
is
haven't heard it
Driver,
yet.
Which
I'm
is
not-
Driver. It will release tonight at 7 if Hammy gets it edited.
I'll listen to it on the way home.
There you go. So we talked about the parking lot. We talked about that. We talked about drag racing on the way home where we're bump drafting each other.
Oh, me and you?
down here
Oh, man.
on the road.
I was telling somebody about that the other day. Like, we were dumb.
We were so dumb, but we're like super careful
We
being
were
dumb.
careful about it. Like, we were, I don't know. We were very, what's the word? Precise in
Yeah.
our idiocy.
Carefully stupid.
Yeah. Like, Clint would come up. Clint started it, of course.
Me?
Nah, Clint.
Yeah. So
with the doo-doo brown Thunderbird with the
With the corn on the
and
front.
this
The
does
corn on the
relate
bumper.
to video games because we were probably rushing home after high school to play NCAA football, which is pretty much the whole basis of our friendship. I'm surprised it's lasts since the game's not out anymore, to be honest with you.
That's
But
true.
our entire friendship is based off that one game. But we'd be on the way home from high school, and Clint would just come up, and I just like, what the heck? And we're going like, what's speed limit? Or what it used to be.
The
I think
speed
it's
limit
changed.
it's changed to 45. It used to be 50.
It used to be 50. Okay,
We were
so we're
probably
probably
running
going 55,
60,
60.
yeah.
Yeah. Just, your normal, slightly above. I get hit, and I'm in a little Toyota Tacoma. So when you get hit,
Little small truck that's rear-wheel drive. So
Yeah.
like if you get hit, you're going to lose the back end really, really quick.
But it wasn't like a vehicle accident. It was
No.
just like something's
nuts.
wrong with my truck.
Right.
So you look in the rearview mirror and there's Clint's smiling face looking at you, and you're just like, what the crap? And then he passes me. So of course I have to retaliate by doing the same thing to him. And this became a daily, pretty much occurrence after this point.
Pretty much.
You know, I know once they repaved out here, you said there's a lot of state troopers. I'm so thankful that there was not a lot of state troopers because, I mean, what were we falling too closely?
Speeding, reckless endangerment.
Yeah.
So,
and that was not us. That was, you know, other people, of course, if any cops are listening. And that was a very long time ago that these other people did.
Oh, we're past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, exactly. You can't prove that was me in that 1989 Brown Thunderbird.
I wasn't involved at all.
The murder scene.
I went straight home after school. I don't know who that was, but
so, all right. So, favorite cereal, we good on that?
Yeah, man. Cinnamon Toast Crunch for the win.
For all time favorite.
For me, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Fruit Loops.
Okay, I'm probably gonna stick with my Raisin Bran with sugar added to it. Yep, and that's how I lost my big toe. All right, so second question, Casey, we're gonna let you do this one.
What, the one from me?
Yeah.
All right. My question to you guys before I knew I was gonna be down here and participating in the answer was, why do you think retro gaming is so popular now?
Well, I think, you'd actually went on in that, and I don't know if you necessarily remember, but you sent this to us in a text message when we first started talking about doing a bonus episode with questions.
Right.
And you had further elaborated on it that you thought that it was because of how everything's like day one out of the box, there's automatically an update.
Yeah, so I mean, I was going to answer my own question, and I kind of did, and because I didn't know I was going to be down here. But the reasons I think it is because day one out of the box, most games are broken. There's got to be a day one patch to even make it playable. Loot boxes, all the things that if we would have been told
have to be online. Yeah,
you have to be online. All these things that if we would have been told as kids that this was happening in gaming, we'd have been like, no, that's horrible. You know, we would all been adamantly against it.
Right. Now,
that's what I think.
The traditional DLC content, I can get that. I really can, because you're adding to the game.
Oh yeah, like The Witcher or
like when
even Bethesda puts out really good DLC that's worth the money. But when what was it? Was it the first Destiny?
Yeah.
That had it built into the game already, and it's just a money grab. They just blocked it off, and you couldn't get to it
unless you paid for it.
Wow. That kind of stuff is what's wrong with gaming now, and I think that's why you see the resurgence of the retro games.
Yeah, because you played Legend of Mystical Ninja a while ago.
Yep.
You turned it on. No updates, no patches.
No, it fired it up, come right into it.
Rage quit, and we were done.
True story.
So what would you give your replay of Legend of Mystical Ninja real quick?
It's not what I remember, and I'm not as good at it as I used to be.
Sure.
It would take some practice. I still enjoy it. It's different than, but I mean, y'all weren't that far off.
We've been redeemed.
Hey, while we're on this subject, since y'all want to be redeemed,
I knew this was coming. This is what I was worried about when we started bringing up Legend of Mystical Ninja.
No. I just before we go down this.
Well, hold on. Let's answer the question. Can you come back to this, or is this
this is pertinent to the rest of the conversation. So you got this Canadian bacon guy, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to explain how VPNs work?
No, I understand.
Okay.
I told him.
Okay, you did
But
tell
there
him.
may not be a Canadian bacon.
I can almost guarantee you there's not a Canadian bacon. It's not me,
Right. I mean, yeah, you can go through a VPN and make it seem...
A lot of people do go through VPNs nowadays.
Well, and I understand
they don't want anyone to know they listen to us.
That's very true.
I don't know.
But the thing is, a lot of these downloads aren't necessarily happening over the internet. They're going to happen through cell phones.
Cell phones use the internet, sir.
They use the internet, but they're going to use the local tower. They're not going to run through...
But that's not how it works. The tower still runs back to a server somewhere, and that's where it's going to report where it's at. And even then, you can have VPN on your phone.
Sure.
So,
but why would somebody hide to listen to our show?
Really? Have you heard us?
Well, first of all, they're ashamed. Second of all, no, it's an always on thing. Where
Well, I know, like with our local service here, our local internet here, I think the home base of it all is in Georgia.
That's why y'all get so many views from Georgia, right? I do the website. I've looked at the analytics from there. There is some, similar things that I see on there, but yeah, it's just VPN related. So I just didn't want y'all to get too excited about this Canadian bacon guy.
Well, as long as I shall live, there shall be a Canadian bacon.
All right. I mean, if that's what makes you feel better, then
It does.
Okay.
As long as I continually have that one download in Ontario, Canada every week, I'm good with that.
I thought about it since it was so important to you at the beginning of the show to get one in each state. I thought about just getting a VPN and just logging in for each download in a different state.
Well,
But that's
I actually
cheating,
talked to-
and Clint's against cheating.
I'm very against cheating. I'm not
Cheat
against
codes.
cheat codes, though. Speaking of every state, Colton contacted me, and apparently he didn't know how to spell ham and spam.
That sounds like Colton.
That sounds like
actually.
Colton.
Yeah, that must be a true story. Okay.
Anyway, I would make fun of Colton for not being able to spell ham and spam because he spelled it all one word, and I'm like, that's the website. So anyway, if anybody happens to listen to this and trying to find us online, it's ham space and space spam enter on iTunes.
And he's not meaning space as in spell out space.
Gosh, it's 2019. You really have to go that way, don't you?
You do.
It's crazy.
All this lead-based paint, man.
They haven't made lead-based paint in 20. Okay, new paint. So yeah, going back to
Clint,
Casey's
why do
question.
you think retro gaming is so popular now, Clint?
Well, I think that
Or
the retro
Spam.
gaming is so popular with our age group,
Yeah.
just from a nostalgia standpoint. I remember this game; it was great. I remember this about it. I remember that about. I remember sitting on the couch with Hammy and Casey and playing this game for hours and hours and hours. I think there's a lot of that. Now what's missing in that? Well, you're in Huntsville. We're down here. We don't get to just sit on the couch. So that's kind of where the internet base kind of helps with that, but they don't have the same games necessarily.
Well, they're working on it
Well,
with a Switch.
sure. But I mean, it's not like you can connect. I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. If they made Mortal Kombat 2 for Switch, it's not like they're going to build in a server so Casey and I can play against each other. He's in Huntsville. We're down here.
You can play those games online.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, but it's going back to that. But I think, too, with you got a game, you plug it in. They've had 2 or 3 years to develop it. For the most part, the bugs are out of it. It plays well. Nothing's changed about it in all this amount of time. And I think you throw the nostalgia standpoint in it as well.
Yeah. I think it's a mixture of both. I mean, I think it's, obviously modern games, like Casey said, are just money grabs. And plus, think of our generation. We're the first generation that's full of gamers.
Sure.
We grew up with that.
Sure.
You think of the generations before us. Their nostalgia is like music, cars, maybe TV shows or movies. And since this is our nostalgia, we're going back to retro gaming.
But see, I don't see, like, the majority of everything that I have or that I ever had, I've still got from a retro standpoint, retro gaming standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I've purchased are either things I've either A, never owned, or B, that have been destroyed. Not necessarily, like, I don't sell back my games to GameStop. I don't sell them to other people. I've lent them out and not gotten them back. So that's, something that has happened in the past. But like, for instance, Nintendo 64, I never had one. And then 5 or 6 years ago, I bought one. I bought a lot of a Nintendo 64 and a good handful of games. And that was it. So you've got a lot of these people that have sold off their stuff or given it away or donated or whatnot. And now they're trying to, hey, this is popular. I kind of want to get back into it.
You're right. Because there are a lot of people who didn't grow up with us that are into it.
Sure. So Maze hasn't really shown a whole lot of interest in some of these older games. He's, of course, 11, but there's a Minecraft, there's a Fortnite, the things that are popular right now he's into, because this is eventually going to be his nostalgia.
Yeah.
When he's 30, he's going to say, man, I remember playing Fortnite till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
What was wrong with me?
See, Tyler, on the other hand, every time I introduce him to a retro game
Right.
that I found fun, it may not have the same replay value as some of the newer games do to him, but he enjoys them. Like Super Mario World, spent a ton of time in it.
Right.
He
Well,
beat
through
it
that
with
in a
all
while.
the star roads, like
Right.
completed the game, 100%ed it, and he loved it.
Yeah.
Every second of it. And
Well, see, we had all this hooked up in Maze's room at one point.
yeah.
But whenever he, he finally got old enough, and we kind of felt like he was ready to have his own, in this case, Xbox Live membership and everything. He just kind of didn't play it anymore. So that's why it all come back, in here into the lavish Hammond Spam studio.
Well, I'll give my kid credit. He's got good taste in video games. Now he does play Fortnite a little bit, Minecraft a little bit, but I mean, him and Hammy could have conversations for days about Zelda.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, he's infatuated with Zelda.
Oh, he's awesome.
He actually corrected you on something
He
Zelda,
did.
didn't he? And you're the resident Zelda
Oh,
expert.
yeah. I was showing him a bunch of the Zelda amiibos, and he pointed out that one was missing.
At which point you had to purchase it immediately.
I did.
So, but yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Like I said, I just think that with this age group, it's a nostalgia thing.
Well, let me ask you this.
Because you don't see a bunch of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds dabbling in retro games unless it's like there's some kind of money market in it for them.
Do you think, let me ask you this as a follow-up to my question, if current day video games and consoles still had the new features, being able to play with your friends online,
Mm-hmm.
being able to deliver new content whenever, but they still were made at the same quality of the retro games, where there wasn't a need for a day one patch, and there wasn't microtransactions and all those things that we as gamers hate. Do you think that we would still be as brought back to our childhood games, or do you think we're brought back because of that? Because of the lack of quality in the newer stuff? Because obviously
I don't think it's so much the quality. I mean, it is a reason. I don't think it's the reason. I think it's because, we grew up playing Super Mario World. We grew up playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Well, when I play a retro game, man, I'm it's like I'm a kid again.
Right. But see, like, where was that cutoff point, though? Because we were completely fine with Halo 3, Halo Reach.
Yeah.
With the DLCs and the updates and the patches. We were completely fine with it to an extent because they made the game better, because they had so many people complaining about certain glitches or whatnot in the game. But then all of a sudden, when it become loot boxes and a download all the time or a completely broken game, like when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, or when Master Chief Collection come out, or not Syndicate, what's the Assassin's Creed that just Unity. When Unity come out, those games were completely broken, and I think that's when it really started. Like, holy crap, get your stuff right, because this is ridiculous. Me personally, I would rather you take 2 years to develop a game and make sure it's right come day one than try to hurry up and release one day one and just fix it as you go.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. I think that's why, granted there are a lot of patches and releases for the games, but I think that's why some of these that have sequels take so long to get a sequel. Is because they want to make it right. They don't want they don't want all the backlash.
The good ones take time.
You're right. And I think, for as much as you crapped on Halo 5 because of Halo Master Chief Collection, the issues that 343 had with it, I think that's why they have taken so long with Infinity, the new one, 6 that's coming out.
Yeah.
That, and it's going to be on a new console. So I've said all that to say this: it's probably going to suck right out the box because it's a new console and they haven't got it.
I'm excited. They get me every time. As much as I hate microtransactions and DLC and all this other stuff that I'm complaining about, they still get me. Like, one good trailer and I'm ready to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't pre-order anymore.
DLC, sure.
But
The multiplayer map packs back in the day, sure. But loot boxes, if I can earn the points within the game, sure, I've done loot boxes. We've all done the Halo 5 loot boxes for the multiplayer and Firefight, and what's the other one? Warzone. Right. We've all done it for that, but I've never spent a dime on any of that stuff. I've not spent any physical money on any of that. I know there's a kid that was on our basketball team a couple of years ago that his mom's credit card information was saved on his Xbox, and he spent $3,000 on Fortnite stuff.
Wow.
And it's just skins.
Yeah, that's just
and
all
dances.
cosmetic.
That's what I don't understand. It doesn't help you in the game. Maze is always coming to me. He's like, Dad, I've got just $15 on this Microsoft card. Do you mind if I use it? And I asked him, what are you going to use it for? Well, I'm going to get this skin. Well, why? Why? They're baiting you into, and that's the thing too. Hey, good on the developers, I guess, because they've spent all this money and all this time and all this effort developing games they release for free that become this huge, just viral game like Fortnite, and the only way they've made money are these microtransactions. 99 cents. I mean, that's what.
Well, they kind of took a page out of the mobile game.
That's what I was going to say right there. Yeah.
The freemium.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they did have a standalone. Like, I think if you wanted to play the single player, it was.
Yeah, they did. That came first, actually.
Yeah.
And, you know, those kind of microtransactions, I don't really have a big problem with.
No, it's the pay to win stuff that I really have an issue with.
But you see what you're getting before you pay for
yeah.
it. Whereas a loot box is, I don't know what I'm
random. And even I don't even think it's 100% random, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's created this, like, because, you know, we were all excited about Destiny when it first came out, being by Bungie.
Yeah.
You know, we were excited. First thing since Halo. And I think the culture that we're in with the microtransactions and all that have kind of led to this ultra grindy type game that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously with Destiny, and then they tried with Anthem. Anthem was a huge flop.
Well, same thing with Grand Theft Auto 5 now. I mean, that game's been out for, what, 3 years?
And they're still making...
They're still making more stuff.
Games as a service or something like that?
Right.
Yeah.
But see, and it's, y'all go ahead. Y'all remind me about this particular part of it. This right here leads to another question. But
well, what it's going to... And I think I know where you're going there, but eventually it's going to be like Uplay Plus just came out. You got Google coming out with the Stadia. It's going to be all subscription based.
What?
Sorry,
I heard the thing
tick.
again.
Yeah, the tick was in the thing. But anyway, we're going to be faced where you don't even buy games anymore. You just pay for all these, kind of like Netflix, Hulu, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you got
let's
that
go into that with Game Pass already.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Game Pass.
Game Pass is excellent.
It's been good. I think they
good.
could have a few more. I think they could have better games on it. There's a lot of like older style games that are on there. Like the new release stuff is not on there.
Well, yeah, well, that won't be on there unless it's like a first party thing. I mean, Gears 5's on it.
Sure.
But, I mean, they can't get rights to a lot of stuff.
Like if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
They probably couldn't.
Sure.
With the rights.
Right. But, I mean, not to say that it couldn't go there. But what I was going to say, you've got all these like sporting games and all these adventure games that just are a lot like what World of Warcraft, where they just go on forever and people have been playing them for years and years and years. To me, that's where some of that genre should go. You shouldn't have to buy Madden 18, Madden 19, Madden 20, Madden 21 just to get an updated roster and some new physics.
Well, EA has their own Game Pass that you can get those games for free.
Access.
I mean, for $15 a month, you can
Right.
get those games for free. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Like, I think eventually that's how everything is going to be.
From the studio itself.
Yeah,
instead
you're
of
just going to
through
buy...
Xbox or through Microsoft.
And eventually, hopefully, somebody like Steam or on PC or, you know, something on console will just charge you, okay, we'll give you $50 a month. Say Microsoft does it or Sony or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
$50 a month.
Any
game you want with these, you know, we've signed a contract with these publishers.
Humble Bundle's kind of like that.
Humble Bundle is kind of like that. Theirs is a little different. Their codes are actually given to them, and all the proceeds go to charity. So anybody that's listening, if you're a PC game or Humble Bundle, it's awesome, and you actually get to pick what charity the proceeds go to
neat.
when you order. So it's really cool. But those codes are given, so that's not a purchase thing. But that's something cool that the developers do. At least that's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we answered your question? Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
No, I mean we discussed it. That's what we're going for. So, I
think retro's back because of modern games.
Well, I think retro's back, but you can also see the retro taking another step forward into the future as well. Wow, we'll have to edit that out.
Yeah. I don't know. There's another one. He'll hear that.
Yeah, I know. For those of you wondering what just happened, Casey sneezed.
It was a cough. But
well, really, really loud cough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to our questions. I'm going to save Jeff's other question for a little bit later, but Jeff sent us another question. So this is why we should do a live stream. Like, if anybody happens to listen, they can just ask us as we go. So it's like,
it would be Jeff.
It would be Jeff.
He'd be the only one listening.
It would just be Jeff and Phil. Our conversation would all be.
Thanks, Jeff, for the questions.
Well,
we
scroll
really
down up
We
there.
need to get Jeff on here
All the other
sometime.
ones are Jeff, so scroll down.
Well, no, I was going to go to
Oh, okay.
I was going to go to question 3 here on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Beat 'em up style. What food would you trust to eat off of the ground? There's plenty of stories that goes with this one, but I'm going to let these other guys answer first. So, if you're playing Ninja Turtles, there's a pizza on the ground. You get it. You get more power. If you're playing Double Dragon, there's a turkey.
So if we're saying if this is real life,
if this is real life,
and we're in a street fight,
sure,
and we've taken damage, we're hurt.
Yep, and you need
We
something.
punch open a crate.
Yep.
What are we going to get off the ground?
Right. What would you eat off the ground right now? Say you're tired, you're famished, you need something to pick you up. What would you eat off the ground right now to give you that boost of energy to get through?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't personally eat anything that wasn't canned and sealed.
So, okay, well, what if it's plated on the ground? Is anything
if you're
there?
telling me that I'm fighting a bunch of ninjas,
Okay.
and I've got gunshot wounds, and I'm about to bleed out,
Right.
and I know that plate of chicken
Right.
that just came out of that barrel that I knocked over is going to heal me, yeah, I'm going to eat it.
Okay, but what
I'm going to eat it, but I'm going to question my life choices that led me to this.
But what if the chicken is not on a plate? What if the chicken is on the ground?
If I'm dying and that's going to save my life, yes.
Okay, so what food would you prefer? What would you definitely... Okay, given the scenario, it sounds like you'd eat almost anything if you knew it was going to do it. But what would you... I don't know how to word this. What would you definitely eat? Like...
Well, I mean, I think you want something fast. I mean, I love steak, but I don't think the ninjas would sit there and watch me as I cut it up and eat it. I guess a sandwich or something.
Okay.
Maybe a waffle.
Yeah, you roll the waffle up and just eat it like a taco real quick.
Maybe. If you know someone threw it in the door.
Casey?
I'll go with a burrito.
A burrito?
That way I can just open up and everything on the inside's still clean.
That's good.
There you go. That's smart there.
Yeah.
You still need a fork, but...
No, I don't.
No, just
I mean, I can literally
I've
just
seen
roll
that,
it out.
yeah.
I've seen you eat before. You know how this goes down, Clint.
yeah.
So this has been brought up more than likely because I have actually eaten things off the floor
a
before.
waffle thrown through the door.
There was a waffle in 10th grade that was made in home ec, and they tried to bring it to one of the coaches, and they opened the door, and Coach M, I'll call him Coach M,
Coach Smurf.
Coach Smurf, there you go, said that he didn't want the waffles, trying to throw them out of the class, try to get them out. So they took the waffle and threw it in the floor, and everybody's just dying laughing. And then Coach Smurf just looks at us and says, "Why in the world are they going to throw that waffle, a perfectly good waffle, on the floor, even though I don't want it?" I got up out of my seat, went and picked the waffle up, and ate it right there in front of me. So, of course, I got the reaction of, "Ooh, I can't believe you did that. Oh, my gosh." So
I don't think that was your reaction. I think the reaction is, yeah, that's Clint.
yeah, well, that's probably it. It's like,
I feel like when I saw it, because it landed not far from my desk, I feel like I looked back in anticipation of, all right, here it is.
Here it is. Well, there was that, and then of course there was the occasional dare. I remember playing football with a good buddy of mine, Jim. Jim, if you're listening, let's just shout out to you, buddy. Let's see. It was after our last home football game, my junior year. Yeah, because that was the town across the mountain here. The coaches kind of, you mouthed it. There you go. I didn't want to put all that out there, but anyway, the coaches had asked us to come up and clean up the field, and there's a handful of us that showed up, garbage bags and whatnot.
Please tell me you did not eat something off.
I was dared to eat some old nachos.
Oh my God.
That were underneath the visitor side bleachers, and I did. It was a nacho, and I dipped it in the cheese that was still in the little container thing, and I ate it on a dare. Sure enough.
See, I got to be honest with you.
Did your HP go up?
No, I didn't feel it go up.
As the, love you as a human being, Clint, but
Right.
things like that, especially in high school, were the things where I was like, something went off my head. Like, I probably shouldn't be friends with this guy. Because there was far worse stories than what we've shared, and I hope we don't go into those. But it was, yeah. Would you do that again? I mean, I know why you did it. You were the kind of class clown or whatever, just like getting a laugh.
I learned very quickly never to dare you to do anything.
Yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing. There was one of the assistant coaches on the youth football team. We had a youth night the other night, and he just looked at me. I guess he didn't think we were going to do it. It was youth night at the home football game against another school that's fairly local, and so everybody's there, wanting to watch this football game, and they're honoring the youth. They're like, "Hey, give a hand to all the youth football players, whatnot." And Steven looks over at me and says, $20 for you to raise your shirt and just flash everybody right now. And I'm
Please
like,
don't tell
dude,
me you did it.
You don't know me. There are pictures.
Oh my god!
I just looked at it and said, "Yeah, you don't know me very well." So there it is.
Did you get your $20?
No.
What? He promised.
He didn't think I'd do it either, though.
Well,
so
he shouldn't have said it then.
That's probably true. But yeah, it was learned a long time ago. Don't dare me to do a whole lot of stuff. As long as it's not going to get me fired or killed, I'll probably do it.
You probably should have died a few times.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
I remember in 7th grade, Justin, who did our intro music, brought a habanero pepper. And this is the same guy that if you look very, very closely, you could probably find him on Twitter, who just ate a whole dozen of Carolina Reapers.
I just ate one.
Yeah,
I thought I saw the stems of 12 peppers, guys.
That doesn't sound like Justin, but if he did, kudos to him.
I think it's on Twitter.
I dare you to eat one if you still got one left.
He even asked me, he told me, he said, I just got a whole dozen Carolina Reapers. He said, that would make a great video. I said, let's just do it on the podcast. So, anyway, maybe check it out. I don't know.
I'm texting him right now.
He's probably in church.
I don't think it's church going time.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, he dared me to eat a habanero pepper, and I was like, oh, yeah, sure, no big deal. I didn't know what it was. Whatever.
It was a little spicy.
Yeah, I took a whole bite of it. Like, I didn't just take a nibble and go, oh, my gosh, that's hot. I took a whole bite because my face turned purple at one point.
It was very purple.
Turned purple at one point.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Whose class were you in?
Everybody's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's your home? Can we say teacher's name?
We haven't been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Because I had the crazy science teacher.
That's who
for homeroom.
That's who my homeroom was.
Really?
I believe. I think Justin's was too.
I don't know. I had to sit in the front.
But we did. I wonder.
Yeah. Do you remember the slipper day?
Yeah.
Where she wore slippers in the
Yeah, do
school.
you
It was
remember
like, oh, I forgot to wear shoes today.
Well, she forgot to wear shoes, and then one day she had different shoes on.
Okay. Let's get back to retro.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hold on. What does Clint call it? A hog trail or something?
Pig trail.
Pig trail.
Pig trail. Yeah. Honestly, it probably comes from my boss at work because he's a big military guy and he's always talking about pig trails.
But it's. I think everybody would agree. It's y'all hit him up on Twitter.
It's rabbit trails.
Yeah.
But if you get off on like some of these other places, probably like where he's been, he's big military. So
maybe like South Texas or something.
Pig trails and stuff. So
it's just weird.
If you get out on an island, you're gonna find pigs on the island.
Would you just?
Why. I'm not gonna
say
no.
How did the boars get on the island?
They probably swim.
The Europeans, they did everything.
Yeah.
Darn Europeans.
Blessed Europeans.
So, yeah. As far as going back to the question at hand with what would I eat, I'm pretty sure you probably need to put that as what I wouldn't eat. Not a fan of coconut. I wouldn't eat coconut.
That's where he draws the line.
Yeah.
If you're dying, if it's like, Clint, you're going to bleed out in 30 seconds, here's some coconut.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. If I knew it was going to like heal me like it does in the video game, sure. But
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of coconut.
Do you like coconut water?
I don't mind coconut water.
Ugh.
It's the texture of the coconut.
It's the texture of the coconut. I can't stand it.
See, I can eat like a pie with coconut sprinkled on top or something, but I
yeah.
cannot eat, or I refuse to drink coconut water because it's disgusting.
So you don't do the body armor?
No, I actually was just asking. We were at a baseball tournament all day yesterday. I was asking one of the guys up there, like, what's the big deal about this?
It's made out of coconut water primarily, but then they infuse it with other fruits and vegetables and whatnot and make it into this big sports drink. But the coconut water is supposed to hydrate you more.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's more like overly flavored coconut water.
Yeah, I know it's
not
supposed to
bad.
be good for you.
Yeah,
but,
it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I like it really well. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything I wouldn't eat. So let's go to another question. I had one. This here's going to go for a very lengthy discussion. All right. NCAA 2014 came out in 2013. I don't know why I put that on there. The game
I'll read it since you have to turn around.
Yeah, you do that.
The game was discontinued due to the now infamous Ed O'Bannon lawsuit. What former college stars would have been on the cover in that time?
Are these our choices?
Yeah, for 2015, which of those do you think?
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, a.k.a. Johnny Football. Jadeveon Clowney.
A.k.a. the guy that knocked the Michigan guy's helmet off in the bowl game.
Yeah, I think.
Poor guy.
Now, when did they do the selection for the thing? It would be after that.
It
right?
would be.
Oh, it would be Clowney, no doubt, in my
You don't
mind.
think
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't think that they would have put. Like, the obvious choice to me is Johnny Manziel.
Not with his...
Without, because of his on-the-field accolades,
Right.
yes. With his off-the-field stuff, absolutely not. There's no way they're going to put... It's like, how did he win the Heisman? Well, he wasn't doing all that crap during the Heisman year, but still.
Now, knowing EA, they may have... You got Marcus Mariota on there. They may have went with him.
Sure. Because they usually like the Heisman winners.
And they've got kind of a West Coast bias for whatever reason. Like,
Because they're West Coast.
I remember like Joey Harrington being
Right.
on it one year, and he was garbage. But anyway, yeah, I would say Clowney. Clowney would be my. I know she got 2 Alabama players on there, but whatever. We'll leave that alone.
Well, one finished second in the Heisman, and one was the Biletnikoff winner that year too. So I was going by that.
Okay.
You know, same thing with Jameis Winston. I mean, he won the Heisman as a freshman. Right, it was a freshman, right?
Who?
Jameis.
I don't know. I don't care about
I think
that
it was a
guy.
red shirt freshman.
I think they would have seniors on the cover.
Well, they're gonna, for the most part, they do stick with senior ball players. But remember, Ingram was on there. It depends on when you declare for the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't be a returning player and
Right.
go on the cover.
Okay.
So
So
you can't be like a junior and come back for your senior season and expect to be on the cover, because then there's
Because you get paid to be on the cover.
sure.
in 16, you got
16, you got Zeke Elliott, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Derrick Henry, you got Joey Bosa.
So we got 2 Ohio State guys on there. We got another Alabama guy. I would go Deshaun
I would
Watson.
go Deshaun Watson
Yeah.
as well, because that would have been the year that was that the year they beat Bama?
Yeah.
The first time, yeah.
16, 17. Yeah, that'd have been the 17 game.
You only have one choice.
Yeah,
for
we got a lot of
17.
choices for 17 there.
Well, what actually happened on this list?
what had happened
was I couldn't figure out exactly what year they would have been eligible for it. So then it kind of became, y'all just pick who would be on the cover, possibly on the covers during these. So I got
Apparently
Christian McCaffrey on 17
Yeah, I think you'd probably get it because I don't remember back then.
because I think, that was a weird thing, because didn't Derrick Henry win it that year? So like Derrick Henry actually shouldn't have been on the 16 cover. He would have been a candidate for the 17 cover.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's always been weird because you've got the year they graduate versus the year that the game comes out, but the game comes out the year after the current season that's being played. So it was weird to try to do this research.
Well, no, I mean, it always came out. So, like,
19 this season is the 19 to 20 season, so it'd be NCAA 20.
for this, but it would be last year's selection would be
Sure.
on this game's go. So, for next year, let's say Tua,
Right.
goes pro after this
Right.
season. Obviously, he'd probably be a choice for that to be on the thing if it were to be brought back. So, he would graduate in, May.
Right.
But
He
would already have declared
right.
like in January, February. So then he would be on the cover for the July release of the deprived series of NCAA. Even though there has been a lot of talks of bringing it back, and they've started with Madden. I think there's 8.
Auburn's one of them. Oregon's
2.
one of them.
Auburn is not one of them.
I thought Auburn was one of them.
I would own Madden if Auburn was there just so I can play with them, but no, they're not.
Oh, okay.
It's like Texas, Oregon, and they did it in NBA 2K as well.
Okay.
Who's Lamar Jackson?
Jackson.
No, the X and the K are nowhere near each other, so I don't know.
Let's see. 18. The choices are Lamar Jackson, Leonard Fournette, and Myles Garrett.
I think it's got to be Lamar.
Yeah, I would say with his.
Because he won the Heisman that year too.
Yeah, it's got to be Lamar Jackson. 19, we got Baker Mayfield, Bryce Love, Sam Darnold, Mika Fitzpatrick, a little Alabama bias on here again, and Saquon Barkley. I think it would have been tough between Baker and Saquon.
Yeah.
I think Saquon is a better, after the rookie year he had last year in the NFL.
But you don't know that going in.
Yeah, I think he's much more known now than he was then, especially playing for a mediocre Penn State team.
Well, they did pretty well that year.
I mean, they were 8-4 or something like that.
No.
They did better?
Yeah, they did better. I think they only lost to Ohio State was in the playoff contention up until like the very, very end. I think they just got left out.
I was still going with Baker if it was me.
Well, Baker maybe because of the big name, the quarterback, the Heisman win, all that kind of stuff. But Baker had some off-the-field issues too. Not near Jameis Winston and Johnny Manziel, but they were there.
Yeah,
and he's a cocky cock of the walk guy.
Yeah.
So, last year, who would you put on it based off last year's play?
Well, it wouldn't have been Ed Oliver after his stunt with his coach, and was it the bowl game or it wouldn't have been Ed Oliver. Nobody knew Josh Allen. What was he out of Wyoming? Is that right?
No, he's a Kentucky quarterback. I mean, linebacker. Yeah.
Well, I think
he's like the number one linebacker taken in the draft.
I think there was another Josh Allen a long time ago that was a quarterback for Wyoming. I'll have to research. I would say Kyler Murray, just quarterback.
Yeah, but
then you got two Oklahoma
guys back to back. So, and I went Quentin because he was number 3, and he was pretty high on the Heisman, I think, too, there for a while.
You did it because he's an Alabama guy.
And I did it because he's an Alabama guy. Notice there's no Auburn guys on there.
None whatsoever. Which, I mean, honestly,
why did they not put Cam on the cover? Notice Hammy is completely out of this conversation playing on his phone.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was it just the polarization with
probably because
the
of all
NCAA
the trouble
issues?
And,
$180,000, Bagman.
Bagman, we need him to come back.
He's got some eligibility.
Come on, Bagman.
How about this next year? I know I've only got 2 names just based off of,
and both of them are Alabama players.
Maybe so, but they're probably the 2 best players now that could possibly be eligible if Tua were to come out this year. Dude, Jalen is lighting it up right now.
Oklahoma doesn't play anybody. I'm trying to think.
But seriously, is it a very, very possible thing that there could have been 3 back-to-back Oklahoma quarterbacks on the cover?
It could have been.
How crazy would that have been?
Well, see, the cool thing was, if you were as big into NCAA football as me and you were,
right? You and I.
The community. Dude, don't be that guy.
Yeah, you can't, Clint, because you've used me and you a lot.
I know.
Anyways, as big as we were into this game, there was communities, obviously, operationsports.com did a great job. And you could download and print out your own cover art and everything with your own team. So, to me, it's irrelevant. But, yeah, I mean, I think Tua would probably get it this year. Trevor Lawrence, you got for 2022 if he comes out next year.
Yeah, he'd be a junior. There's already
2023. Bo Nix.
Nah, whatever.
Bo Nix.
It's a bad decision. He underthrew the ball. The guy actually called it. That's where all the hype comes from. That's all the hypes come from. Anyway.
Whatever.
So this is not a college football podcast.
You're listening to Sports Talk with Spam and Baloney.
No, just spam and. Yeah.
Spam and. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of fun. It's Clint and Casey conversation there.
We did.
We could go a long time on
this. I don't
this.
play sports games unless they have Super Mario in the title.
See, that's what's
Tennis,
always been
golf.
Interesting about our dynamic. Is the only reason I played video games originally. I mean, obviously, I had Mario and on regular NES and all that, but really, I got into sports games.
Sure.
Tecmo Bowl was a huge thing. I remember when Super Tecmo Bowl came out, and I think you could either edit rosters or trade or something for the first time, and that was amazing. And that's kind of how me and you related with game. Me and Spam or Clint, whatever we call you. But anyway, that's how me and you related with game. And on the opposite token of that, me and Hammy have the RPG stuff, the PC gaming, you know, and as I got older, I got more into that. So I don't know.
So you're literally the and.
I literally am a perfect mixture between you two, I believe, as far as gaming goes.
Well, there you go. All right, so...
Oh, Justin's got 10 Reapers left, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought he ate all 12. I'm
Apparently
sorry.
not.
Okay.
Tell him to head this way.
We'll have to... we ain't doing it today, boys. Yeah, we'll have to have him on maybe one day and...
You should make it a challenge, like how long you can do it without water. Like
we've
just
already
eat
done
one.
that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Like it doesn't last very long.
Proceed.
We'll do a real quick.
You know what? I'd be willing to eat one if Canadian bacon comes forward.
It's probably like Paul. He said he didn't do it, but I bet it's Paul.
If Canadian bacon comes forward and proves he is a Canadian, or she is a Canadian.
Yeah.
First of all, there's no girls listening to this.
That is true.
Unless they're related to y'all.
Oh, I was gonna say my mom does, but my wife does every so often. So I guess they're both.
My wife rolls her eyes when she hears me listening to this.
What?
Yeah. Oh, my kid loves it though.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Tyler loves it. So
Good. Hey, Ty.
Keep playing Zelda, bro.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a repeat of a question because it was one that was brought up before we actually called that it was a that was a repeat of a question. But one of our friends, one of the listeners to the show, Caraway, had a question, and this is, like I said, a repeat. But
good friend of ours who could have been here today.
Yeah. Casey left him. I blame Casey.
wasn't my fault.
I blame And. His question was, what do you consider retro? And I think he's talking about up to what family of systems you're talking about, or what generation of systems. And he said, what is the cutoff point?
To me, I'll go first if y'all don't mind.
Go for it.
It is in between, or it's everything before the original Xbox, in my mind, is what I consider to be retro.
Okay.
I don't know why. But I don't,
I'm going to go a generation later and say before 360.
Yeah,
before
360 and back. That's kind of where I'm at. Because I grew up with a Nintendo, played a lot of Sega, the 64 and the Super Nintendo come later, but I did play a lot of them. PlayStation 2, played a lot of it. Never owned a PlayStation 3, never really played a whole lot of games with it, but ours was 360. Well, the biggest part of my gaming career, lifetime, whatever, actually happened on the 360, with you guys.
And that's why I think we can allow a few 360 games.
Sure. I'm not saying that like
the memories associated.
Well, I
with
think
them.
the cutoff, and the reason I say, because remind me, and I could be wrong, but what was the PlayStation equivalent to the Xbox? Was it the 1 or the 2? I don't know.
2.
The 2?
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 did not have internet, correct?
no,
Right.
I think that's my cutoff.
Really?
I think if the console was not
internet,
pre-internet, that's in my mind. And I get y'all in this environment playing even some 360 games because it's been that long ago.
right?
But when you truly want to define it, I think it's pre-internet for me.
Okay, and I can see that. And I think the question itself is subjective.
It's different for everybody. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be different. Like for
it
Maze, Maze isn't going to consider. I mean, he might consider Super Nintendo retro, but he didn't grow up with it, so he's not going to have the same retro. His beginning of retro time to end of retro time is going to be completely different.
Like Caraway is almost a decade younger than we are.
Right.
So his definition of retro is probably much later
Right.
Yeah.
than ours is. So.
Right. So his might be
360 or
right. His might be 64 to 360.
Yeah.
If we go to now, or it might be 64 to 1.
Well, it's kind of like when y'all talked about in one of the earlier episodes of this show that Atari really wasn't what you focused on because that was kind of pre us, right?
Yeah, right.
That predated what we played as children.
Sure.
I remember playing like Cubert or something stupid on Atari, and it was horrible. Like when I was like,
Asteroids was fun.
or the tank one. Do you remember? It was just
I
like
do,
random rocks, and you were
Yeah.
a tank, and you could only shoot. I remember, but that was like at 3-4 years old.
Sure.
I mean, Nintendo, and as we look back now, like Nintendo games in general are horrible, right? When you compare them to Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, there's
a huge jump.
There's a huge jump.
But we grew up with regular Nintendo. That was
Right, but see, we don't review a whole lot because there's not a lot that goes into I mean, how can you do an hour-long show
when the game's only 2 hours on?
Sure.
Yeah, or less, yeah.
I mean, if you can beat Super Mario Brothers in 4 minutes and 55 seconds on a speed run, how in the world are you supposed to talk about that for an hour?
Yeah.
You know, now that's where we kind of talked about where
I mean, I think you could talk about the evolution of gaming to go from, Atari to regular Nintendo, and what changed from the regular NES to Super NES, and what made such a huge difference in the replayability, the gameplay, all that kind of stuff. But
well, and I think that's a that there could be a topic of discussion for us in a future episode. You start discussing the different. What are y'all doing?
He passed me an Allen wrench for whatever reason.
I was just wondering why there's an Allen wrench.
You could sit here and have a discussion between the different generations, and just not necessarily review a game. And, hey, if this is what everybody out there likes listening to more, hey, we can do more of this. We just choose game reviews because it's simple for us to do.
And we get to play them.
And we assume that you like it. I mean, we'll adjust the show or which way we need to go. So if y'all like this kind of banter, let us know. As we edit out.
Sheep got in here.
Well, you told me to yell in the microphone. That way you can find the point at which we need to edit.
I'll see where he sneezed.
Okay.
It was a cough, dang it. I always think I'm sneezing. It's a cough.
So, but yeah, I still think that it's very subjective because I didn't play any Atari. But what I really do find interesting to me is I didn't get my regular Nintendo until I was going on the Christmas I was 4. So that would have been Christmas of '89.
Isn't that when it came out?
No,
it came out.
Super Mario Brothers, 1985.
Yeah.
Oh.
Seems like it came out in '83 in North America.
Okay, well, okay, '83, but I'm thinking that it says copyright 1983 on the cartridge itself, and I might be completely wrong.
I have a crappy Atari?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Also, is I got it. I was 4, but it had already been out for 5 years by the time I got one, and I don't remember anybody having one back in the early the mid '80s or whatnot.
I don't remember anything.
I wanted one because my cousins had one, but I got a Super Nintendo.
I think you tell that story on every podcast.
It's worth it.
See, I got a funny console story. If we got time for it, real quick.
Do it.
So
we have all the time in the world. We could literally put out an 8-hour podcast right now.
The only reason that I got a PlayStation, do y'all remember Super Nintendo games were, for some reason, higher priced than any other console ever, right?
Yep.
So I told my parents, again with the sports thing, there was a college football game that I had rented from the video store here in town.
Please tell me it was Game Day 97 for $9.89.
No, this was Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
This was college football.
Was it NCAA football?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
side to side.
Yeah,
I've got that game.
Yeah. Okay, so that game, I wanted it more. I didn't want anything else for Christmas. That's all I wanted because I figured out you could run up and punt block and sack the quarterback.
Yeah, you could.
Anyways,
you could jump off sides as long as you didn't touch anyone. You're fine.
I grew up a huge Auburn fan, and that's. You could play with Auburn. It's the first game I could ever do that on. So Auburn's I wanted that game more than anything.
Alabama was not for some reason.
Anyway, so my parents totally surprised me, right? And I kind of ruined it, and I hate that I did. But they got me a PlayStation, and the 989 was a Game Breaker or Game
Breaker.
Yeah, Game Breaker.
Game Day was the
NFL. They got me that for Christmas as opposed to getting me that game. And unfortunately, how I ruined it was in their closet, and I left for school after they left for work. So I was snooping around when it got close to Christmas time, and I found the PlayStation. I even went as far to open it very carefully, hook up the PlayStation.
Holy crap.
And the game, obviously, I couldn't open and reseal. Right. But I went through the demo screens, learned all the settings. So, I wonder if they wondered, he's never seen one of these. How does he know how to use it so well? On Christmas morning. But no, they had the little stickers that went over the folds.
Right.
I got a knife out of the kitchen and meticulously scraped it off to make sure the sticky stuff was staying on the sticker side. I spent a lot of time.
I was going to say, you spent 2 or 3 days trying to get it
open.
Oh,
yeah. I took my time. I didn't want to get caught and then take it back to the store or something.
Well, it's funny you say that because, I had a PlayStation as well, and it was because the games were just so expensive for the other cartridges. Yeah. And my parents were not going to give me Nintendo 64 because it was outrageous when it first came out anyway. And then the games are $60-$70 a piece, it seems like.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't the games only $30 for PlayStation?
Between 30 and 40.
When they came out? Like the Game Breaker, I think was 30.
Yeah. Well, I remember I asked my mom for NCAA football, like 99 or something for regular PlayStation, maybe 2000. I can't remember. Well, she bought me, all of our stuff. Well, she didn't hide it very well, and I found it. So I found out she got me the Game Breaker, and it had the UCLA player on the front. I can't remember who it was.
It was a running back.
It was a running back.
Oh.
Anyway, I found it. I was like, man, this is not what I wanted. How do I tell her that she's gotten the wrong thing without her knowing that I found it? Somehow or another, I tried to break it to her, and she basically put one and one together and realized it was two, and took the crap back. And I didn't get any. Any of them for Christmas. So to this day, I've still not played that Game Breaker game.
I got it. It was. Did you play any of the like game day or anything later on where like the movement was real?
I think Justin's willing, by the way. I'm talking to him to come up real quick so he can eat a Reaper.
Holy crap. Don't do it on this episode.
Do it. I'm here. I want to see it.
Jeez Louise.
This is going to be great.
Anyway. And Turkey said he might be here too. So
he said if y'all wait, I can meet y'all at PC exit.
What? I'm sorry.
PC exit.
20
going towards.
Yeah. How far is it? Is that what you said?
He said if y'all wait, he can meet us at the PC exit so we can have it.
Oh, he's not going to be here for it? No, I want him here for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll table that one for another time. I'd laugh if somewhere secretly that was plugged up when you just jammed that Allen wrench into it.
I'm not that dumb.
Also, NES, North America in 85, Japan in 83.
Okay. So I wasn't wrong with the 85 because I could have sworn it was 85 on when you fire up the console. So anyway, all right. So way off trail here.
That's what we do.
Well,
we took that Buffalo Trail right out the...
That iguana trail.
Yeah. Buffaloes, iguanas, pigs.
Oh, yeah. I know what y'all just made me think of.
What?
Buffalo Wings?
No, Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Oh.
Oh, man. Yes.
Speaking of retro.
Very retro. That's like over 20 years old. I saw that on the what is the Twitter site that our page follows? The 90s nostalgia.
Y'all need to have a 90s Nickelodeon TV review where you do like Snick and Nick at Night, and you go over like
not Nick at Night.
Yeah, that's like
Nick at Night was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, it wasn't.
No, that was Nick at Night was like the TV
old
land.
School. Yeah, it's like TV Land.
Yeah. Well, don't do that.
I know what you're talking about.
But was it Snick,
Hey Dude,
then?
Salute Your Shorts. Remember all those?
Dude, Salute Your Shorts was great. Hey Dude was I think it was more teenager than what we were.
Clarissa Explains It All.
Hey, Melissa Joan Hart was where it was at when we were kids.
Back in the day.
She was hot.
So back to the question. I kind of consider that last generation because we had such great memories. And
what was the question?
Well,
yeah, I forgot where we're at.
We're the cutoff point for retro.
Oh yeah,
and obviously it is subjective.
Did you answer?
It's gonna be.
What'd you say?
Generation after what you said.
Oh, okay.
So to me, it's like the 360 because at some point I would love to review the Batman games that come out. Those are really good.
Yeah.
At some point, I'd love to review Reach or Halo 3.
Y'all talk about movie games a lot. Those Batman games, because they were with the new movies, right?
No,
they weren't.
They didn't follow them at all. No.
Oh. Anyway, they were both great.
But they were both great. Even the Origins was great. I mean, there were some things I think they could have done differently.
So I don't.
Is that the new one with the Batmobile?
There are maybe two games on 360 I would like want to review.
Okay. I'll find somebody else for review.
Which are?
I'll save them for later.
What is the secrecy?
No. Because with you, it's gonna be anything Halo. It's gonna be Mass Effect.
3 games. No. It would be 3 ODST and Reach.
3 ODST Reach. None of the Mass Effect games? For as much as you love Mass Effect 2.
I think 3 ruined it for him.
No. I mean, Mass Effect 1 maybe, but as far as retro reviews,
those are too new. Yeah.
If this show goes too long, and by too long, I mean several years, we're going to run out of crap. So you'll have to start reviewing some of that.
There are like 2,000 games on Super Nintendo.
Well, here's the thing, though. Do you think that when the new consoles come out, which is going to be when? Soon, right?
This year.
This Christmas season?
Christmas, I think. Or is it next Christmas?
Next Christmas.
Is that going to bump up?
Well, no, I don't think it will.
You don't think it changes?
No.
I mean,
I guess it could to an extent.
I mean, eventually it will.
But for us to consider it retro, I don't think so.
Like, I would want to review Halo 3 because we've got so many memories.
And so much time.
Yeah, so much time.
Let's say you've got a ton of time invested in Skyrim. You've got a ton of time.
But not like with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which can lead us right into question 8.
It's a good segue.
Yeah, it is a good segue. So, question, the not the last question. Well, let's save that one for the last. I'm going to give them the big
finale.
Okay.
All right.
We got Caraway. We got mine. We got Casey's.
Here we go. We got two more from
2 from Jeff.
All right. All right. The world is plunging into chaos. What game character or characters do you want on your team?
Well, the easy one for me is freaking Master Chief.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you say that, but how many people that run with Master Chief end up dead?
Everybody.
Yeah.
But he saves the world. I'm good with that. I just want him on my team. Yeah, all right, I'm going to stay here and like mow grass or something. You go save the world.
You get an energy sword through the back.
Yeah.
See, you can't be on your team if you're just going to say, hey, go save the world. I'm going to stay back here.
Yeah, it's not a team.
Okay, so it's got to be me helping to save the world?
Yeah, like you're in a situation where you're in trouble.
Sure.
Your life is in danger. You can pick a video game character to help you out, to save your life.
Is Nick Saban an answer?
No.
Is Batman an answer?
Yes.
Then I go with Batman.
Okay. What you, Casey?
I'm thinking so. You go ahead.
I'm thinking too.
So I've got one.
Okay.
But there's going to be multiple. I like this question a lot. So to really release my inner nerd here, Alex from Lunar, Squall from Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
I'm still thinking. There's a lot more to come, but those are the first 2 that popped in my head when I read the question. And Clint's looking at me like I'm an idiot because he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
He has no idea who those people are.
No.
No, it's not that. I'm actually in deep thought. Kind of like when you. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that on there. Anyway,
what you got, Hammy?
I mean, I would have to go like full blown comic book almost. I mean, you're talking about like Batman, Ninja Turtles.
It would be really.
That would be cool.
It would be really. I didn't think of Ninja Turtles, but that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you die. Hey,
Even if you die, you had fun.
You laughed.
I had
along the way.
pepperoni and gumball pizza, and I laughed.
All right, Hammy, what you got? You hadn't said anything yet.
I'm thinking. The world's plunging in chaos. Who do I want on my team?
Like, the follow-up question to this is why? Like, why would you want these people on your team?
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm thinking.
That's the hard part. Like, I can just name all these classic nostalgia. I mean, how about the Avengers? Yeah, let me have the Avengers. Well, why? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because the movie.
Because of the movie. I'd still say Batman. Batman is just awesome. Batman can do anything. He's a scientist, you know.
Yeah, he is. He's a good professional wrestler, too. Oh, man.
For any of you who don't know what's going on, go back and listen to our WWF SmackDown 2 review, and oh gosh, we cut promos and did all kind of stuff for that. That was just great and hilarious and funny.
I mean, Master Chief is a good choice.
Except you already pointed out the flaw of Master Chief. Yeah, you're gonna die.
It's gonna be cool though when you die. And I'm looking at video games right now. I'm looking at your 360 games. Like, okay, what game?
Scorpion would be pretty cool to put on the team.
That is true.
Or Sub-Zero.
Have
both
you guys
of them.
seen that fan film someone did, like airsoft guns, where it's like Left 4 Dead? It's like the Left 4 Dead characters, and all of a sudden, other characters from games start coming out and helping them. Like Master Chief comes out, Scorpion comes out.
I have not.
No, I haven't seen that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You talked about why Hammy's finishing thinking of other people besides Master Chief, but both of mine. I mean, I'm assuming I picked 2 RPG guys, and they both come with their crew, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I got a healer in both in both things. There,
you're thinking party.
Yeah,
construction there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm trying not to die. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, I'm just gonna say Master Chief. Generic answer.
Goku and Vegeta.
Would you consider them video game characters?
They're in a freaking video game. It counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Well, if that counts, then I can say myself from SmackDown 2.
Because you are awesome.
Or maybe Nefarious Cousin Jimmy.
Ah. Very nice.
So yeah, generic answer, Master Chief. I'm gonna die, but you know,
what about
he's gonna like carve my name into his armor or something,
or the side of a pelican wing.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart. What's the main character from Mass Effect?
Commander Shepard.
Yeah, you wouldn't want him.
I don't know,
because he's almost as
he's awesome
to me.
He is awesome. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm just gonna go Master Chief.
All right, congratulations, Jeff. You stumped the great Hammy.
You broke my mind.
You broke him. You broke him. All right, we'll finish up with one more. Well, we got one more after this. So one more Jeff question, real quick. Last Jeff question. Somebody want to take it?
Oh, what game feature? I think it's supposed to be. Did you get super excited for when you heard about it?
All right, yeah.
Or do you get super excited?
I've actually talked to him about this. What game feature when you hear about a game coming out and it's like got this feature like character customization or multiplayer co-op, something like that? What do you get most excited for when you hear about?
Well, it depends on what kind of game it is. Like if it's a sporting game or in particular NCAA football, like
recruiting updates.
Yeah. The full 120-man roster would be awesome instead of the 85 that you get.
It was way less than that.
75?
No.
Wasn't that? It's like 75.
Well, I mean, in general.
I think it was.
I mean, in general. Let's pretend we live in a world where they don't make NCAA football games anymore.
That's a world I don't want to be a part of.
We're already part of that world.
Yeah, we are part of that world.
How about that?
I would say, I mean, it really, like Clint was saying, you kind of do need some more context. Like, because I can almost do one for each
I'll
genre.
do one then.
Okay.
Co-op.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. What's that game that we've talked about on Steam? That survival game where you're on the ocean.
Stranded.
Yeah, Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep, yeah.
I want to play that game.
But only co-op.
Exactly. I want to wait until it's got co-op. The Forest co-op.
Maximum Carnage.
See, I would say most awesome PC games would be co-op because we have a nice little PC gaming community that unfortunately Clint is not a part of.
Well, like that
probably
Hunter
fortunately, not unfortunately.
That Hunter game I play a lot. It's got co-op.
Yeah.
And that was an instant sell for me.
Well, I think now we're at the point of our lives where we can't, I mean, our kids can, but we can't dedicate the amount of time we would like sometimes.
We're absolutely at that time right now.
And the co-op thing, to me, living 2 hours away, and this is the way I've explained it to my wife when she says I'm playing too much, or Tyler when he thinks it's unfair that I'm playing and he can, or whatever the case is this is me hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, you're spending time with your friends.
Yeah, I'm 2 hours away. This is an easy way for me to communicate and hang out with everybody at once.
But I know some people, I mean, myself co-op, some people it's character creation. Be able to put yourself in.
Well, and that's what I was gonna. That's why I was kind of getting at it because like in a wrestling game, what's the best wrestling game ever produced?
WWF No Mercy.
Is there character customization?
Yep.
Okay, well I'm thinking of Revenge.
WCW Revenge.
Yeah, there's no you can customize a character and you can essentially make yourself You know, take Scott Steiner, take everything away, and just restart him. But there's no like actual character customization.
Yeah.
You know, is it customized entrances? Is it customized moves? You know, there's a ton of things that, you know, are in some games, not in others. You know, create a character in Mortal Kombat would be pretty cool.
They had that. Armageddon.
Yeah. Custom fatalities, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as what actually gets me going, I don't know, because they had the customized character in was it Sonic Forces?
Yeah.
Which did terrible because it was a 3D Sonic game. Why they're still making those, I don't know. But you could make your own character to be, you know, running alongside Sonic, and that didn't hype me up for it. So again, it just
that's not yours.
All right.
Well, not so much not mine. It's just it depends on the context.
Let me rephrase the
Okay.
question and see what we get
gotcha.
from y'all with this. So historically, going back like retro games and all that, when you heard about a new feature that was going to be launched with a new game, whether it be a new series or a new feature in a series that you'd played before, what excited you the most that you can recall out of that?
New weapons in Halo and new power ups. That was always pretty exciting. Firefight, you know, the addition of different game modes.
I'd say when Mass Effect first came out and you found out that decisions you make in the game will carry over
Yeah.
to the next game.
That's pretty neat.
I thought that was awesome.
I'll just and you're 100. I agree with Hammy on that. I would say the promises of Fable, not the actual
Well, Peter
delivery of
Molyneux.
it, but the promises they made about that game really excited me. And I wish they would have implemented even half of what they said they were going to, but that's a different story for a different time. And then another one would be, I think it was it Legend of Dragoon, Hammy? That was the first RPG to have that timing based. It was the first one that I heard of, or that I
where
played.
they added some skill to the turn-based stuff.
Yeah, it was just like for your special, I believe.
Super Mario RPG kind of had something like that.
Did it really?
Yeah, like
Okay.
when Mario does his move, if you hit the button at the right time, he does more damage.
Yeah, that is right. I forgot about that.
Well, it's kind of like Gears, where the little, when you do the reload, if you do the reload at the right time, it does it faster and a gun doesn't jam.
Cool.
Okay. But what else though? I mean, there's got to be more. Like the ability to fly in Mario 3 and Super Mario World was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Riding a freaking dinosaur in Mario World was pretty neat.
Honestly, I think the innovations we're going to find on a lot of games that failed, that were implemented maybe later in a different series. But
Sure.
I'm thinking of like Anthem, for example, a recent game that has just bombed, right?
Right.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But I will say one thing about that game, and I look forward to hopefully seeing it in another game, was the aerial combat.
Right.
It was better than, it was something new that I hadn't experienced in a game before, and it was fantastic.
And for all the grief we give that game, which is well deserved, when it worked well.
There just wasn't any content. That was my biggest issue with Anthem. The gameplay was fine. I enjoyed the combat and everything in the game. It was just literally, it was a one day. It was kind of like playing a regular Nintendo game. You were done after 8 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Then we're good. Ready to go to that final question.
The last one.
The last one. How long have we been going, Hammy? Ish.
I don't know how to read that.
Oh, okay. All right then. So we're going to save the big stage for our guys, fellow podcast guys over at Finish the Fight podcast.
So do y'all know these guys at all?
No,
I've heard y'all mention them on y'all's podcast. But...
Well, this right here's the entire history. Okay. I don't know them. I've listened to their I don't know them personally. I've listened to their podcast. Every episode so far is really good. If you're into the Halo lore, from the video games, I know they've done
some of the books. Some of
they've done 1, 2, and 3. They're going to do ODST and Reach, and I guess 4 and 5 eventually. But they've done the books. A lot of the stuff that's just, kind of not want to say canon, because I think most of it all is canon, but a lot of the other media that you don't
they
really...
put a lot. They give you the backstory,
and they put a lot of research into it too. Like they did 2 almost 3-hour episodes So they did 2 episodes that almost went 3 hours long. One of them did go over 3 hours. The other one went almost 3 hours. Anyway, listen to those guys. A couple of times, give them a shout out on Twitter, saying, "Hey, we love the podcast."
Yeah, they've been cool.
Keep doing. They've been very cool about it. I don't want them to think that I'm like all the time just wanting favors from them or whatever. So, but we do appreciate the bounce back. I'm sure they actually gave us a shout out on Twitter. trying to push some people our way.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's one thing I've noticed since y'all started this, and I've inserted myself into y'all's endeavor a little bit, but it seems like the podcasting community as a whole,
right?
It's not this competitive, like,
sure,
I gotta steal subscribers from you and yada yada yada. It's everybody that I've heard y'all interact with has all been really helpful, I believe.
Oh yeah,
cool and all that kind of stuff.
And really for me, a lot of this podcasting stuff came through with the podcast by Conrad Thompson. He does 2 or 3 different podcasts, wrestling podcasts, and that's where some of this want to do a podcast come from. Conrad Thompson, guy from Huntsville, the mortgage guy.
The mortgage guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like super successful in the podcast world right now because he does a podcast with, let's see, he does one with.
Does he still do one with Cole Kubelik?
No,
because he used to be on the radio.
I don't think so.
Up in Huntsville when Cole Kubelik had a
morning show.
He was on there all the time.
Well, and I think his might have just been a call in for advertisement to his mortgage company or something.
It was originally, but then it turned into like a segment. Yeah.
Okay. That'd have been pretty neat to listen to because he's a big Bama guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he does a podcast with Arn Anderson right now, Eric Bischoff, Bruce Pritchard, and Tony Schiavone. So he's got 4 current. But he started out doing one with Ric Flair, and this is where all that come from. Basically, he reached out to Ric Flair and was like, "Hey, do you guys, you want to come over and just hang out with us one day and talk wrestling or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So that's where it started, and then they graphed that into a podcast. Oh, he's doing one with JR too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So that's 5. He's doing
My God.
Yeah, he's doing 5 podcasts, and it's just basically reliving all the stuff that they were all a part of between WCW and WWE. So. But that's literally where my want to really do a podcast came from. So yeah, if you're looking for something a little different, if you're a wrestling guy, check those guys out. But as far as like stealing listeners, I don't think that's actually how that works because it's not set in a time.
Oh no, yeah.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, just shout outs here and there. Like I don't think we've actually got a shout out on Finish the Fights podcast per se.
But just the fact that they're sending questions to you guys and they're interacting with
absolutely
you two. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to ask while I'm on the podcast. When is this YouTube channel going to have gameplay video on it?
So
I'm tired of the excuses of we don't have the equipment.
Well, while you're here, you can help us get it off the ground.
There we go. Sounds
because right now the YouTube channel absolutely only consists of our podcast. It's just it's there. You can listen to it and
that's just because Alex wanted it, so he could listen to it in the background.
No. I found out how to do it,
okay.
So I incorporated it.
Plus, I still don't think he listens to it.
I guarantee you that he doesn't. But at the same time, those numbers on YouTube aren't great. Which I know there's no content. It's just the same screen bouncing around, whatever. But it was just it's another media for us to kind of get out there.
I just want to see y'all die over and over and over again on these. I mean,
you could have seen
we established on Legend of the Mystical Ninja earlier. Retro games are a lot harder,
way harder
than current day games.
Way harder.
I just want to laugh at y'all getting frustrated throwing controllers, which I know
that's the thing.
Controllers are expensive. I don't throw them.
Oh, yeah, you won't, but that guy.
Oh, he'll destroy a controller in a heartbeat.
Can I tell that story?
I used to. No,
he's taught it before.
Come on,
hold on. Are we talking about the infamous night of the?
No, we gotta all be together.
No. That's gonna be our 30 for 30. We're gonna have to have Alex.
We're gonna have all the different angles. Because who was I talking to?
Me.
I was talking to you.
That's before Xbox had parties.
I was on the phone with you. Right?
No, we're in chat.
We're in chat. Really?
I've not broken the first Xbox One controller.
That is a lie. Because if we turned on NCAA football right now and I started
Farmer
whooping
beat
you,
me in a BS way the other
that's
day.
Farmer. I'm sorry, it's not the same as me and you. It's
He's got
not.
a
beat
point.
me. I beat
He's
him.
got a point.
He beat me, and you know what? We'll prove it. We'll prove
I don't
it
know.
one time.
I love
after
how we
this.
just, willy-nilly throw his last name around.
That's his name.
That's his name.
That's his whole name.
Do we want to tell everybody's last name? Hey, Farmer was here just last week.
Yeah.
He said he didn't care.
But what is it?
But we
Why?
won't say Clint Thompson or Jonathan Hamilton.
Why do you think that it's such a bigger deal? Or why historically have you broken an exponential amount of more controllers and televisions while playing me?
I don't think
It's
it's
a
so much.
rivalry.
It's just there is the rivalry. There's the kind of
I know why.
why.
Because you always used to say it. I know exactly what you're doing and I can't stop it.
Well, there's that, but then there's two where like just something stupid to happen. Like the linebacker will flow to the tight end every time, and that one time Casey throws the tight end, the daggum linebacker running to the other sideline or something.
Did
So
it ever cross your mind that I was decent enough to notice that linebacker was not in the
Hey,
right spot?
no,
Let's
okay.
let's
No.
save this for
yeah,
our
we'll
30
table
for
this
30.
for our 30.
Let's
for
get
30.
back to our question from Finish the Fight.
All right.
That
So we
whole-
told this huge elaborate story about Finish the Fight that got sidetracked and pig trailed
Sorry, guys.
with NCAA football talk.
See how easy it is to do it.
See,
Pig
it's
trails.
it's
Picked
anyway.
rabbit.
Got moose trailed.
Yeah, it did. So, but yeah, that's how we kind of got into it with those guys. Again, haven't really met them per se. Hey, if we ever figure out how to do guests on the podcast without them actually having to travel here,
Yeah.
uh,
Because they're from Missouri?
I know they're Central Time Zone because they play in Central Time Zone.
Okay.
That's all I know. I don't know exactly where they're located. So, if you guys are located in Missouri, blink twice.
No, it's really cool that they asked
Yeah.
that question though.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very cool.
And I just subscribed to them, so they got a new subscriber
hey,
just by being cool and asking
hey.
a question. So.
That's magic.
So yeah, give them a listen to.
I will.
They're
On the way
lengthy
home.
podcasts. They're lengthy podcasts.
I drive a lot.
Yeah, well worth their listen, especially if you're into the Halo lore. So, their question, sticking with their Halo genre, is what is your favorite Halo game and why? Now, I think we all three know each other's answers.
Yeah.
But for the sake of conversation, we'll tell you all of our answers. Casey, we'll start with you. What is your favorite Halo game?
So I was late, if y'all remember, to the Halo party.
Yep.
I got in very late on 3.
Right.
But
But when you did, you jumped head first in.
and I was horrible.
Right.
I mean, I remember being so frustrated at 3, and the only map I could do any good on was Valhalla because it was so spread out and I could
Right.
kind of hide.
And toward the end of the life of 3, you never got Valhalla because it had so
No.
many DLC maps at that point.
Yeah.
You never got Valhalla anymore.
Veto.
So
Veto.
the next game after 3 was Reach, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well,
ODST technically,
ODST.
but
full game, yeah.
full game.
Full game.
Sure.
Because ODST was like an add-on.
Yeah. I think
It
so.
was the in between 2 and
Right.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily an add-on. Now their multiplayer had a lot of the add-on maps and stuff.
Yeah, they had the Halo
whole
3
disc.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
And then they had Firefight.
Firefight.
So Reach, anyway, Reach is my answer.
Okay.
The reason being is because, again, I was horrible at 3,
Mhm.
which was my first experience with, and I felt bad because it was a 4-man team. I felt like I was bringing y'all down. Y'all were losing a lot because of me. So when that
Sure.
came out, I was like, man, I got an opportunity to start fresh or whatever.
Right. You start on the front side instead of the back
I
side.
did, and I discovered something great and magical about Halo. And that's the DMR.
Not a gameplay, not the graphics, not
It's a
the
certain
story.
gun.
It's the gun.
The DMR changed the entire game for
Oh,
me.
sure.
I went from
And I don't know if the DMR's been back since, has
Yeah,
it?
it's been back.
Okay.
I couldn't compete with the other. I mean, I think from 3, I figured out I could kill a person every once in a while with a needler.
Right.
So, I like needlers. But anyway, I got really good at the DMR. Alex, our other friend, was really good at Halo, and I think pretty much to his level.
Sure.
With the DMR.
As far as ranking, for sure.
Yeah, as far as kills and,
Right.
and not dying, and I could take down just about anybody 1-on-1 in a DMR battle.
On Boardwalk.
Especially on Boardwalk. Oh man, can I go into that real quick?
Go
Our
for it.
strategy on Boardwalk. So Boardwalk, me and Alex would what do you call that? I'm gonna say from the tower. It's the left side, that left bridge.
Yeah.
Me and Alex would patrol that. Hammy and Alex would run back to the tower with a sniper if he could ever
Right.
get it and snipe out of the tower. Hammy would hide with a shotgun.
I camped.
He camped so bad with a shotgun, but he protected mine and Alex's butt. And then Clint would just run around sticking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect Clint MO. That's all I would ever
But it was
do.
just enough chaos in our structure that I think it really threw other teams for a loop. I think it was a brilliant strategic
Well,
move
see, this
on
right
your
here was
part.
always my thing with sticking people. I know that I'm not on the level of some of these people that's played, all these games forever and ever and ever.
Right.
I can't sit there and just try to, get in a pistol battle or a DMR battle and I can't get 5 bullets in your head before you get 5 bullets in my head.
Right.
I'm not that good. I know I'm not. So my strategy is at least go 1 for 1. If you can go more than that, it's great. If you go less than that, you need to really pick it up. So if I could stick you, usually that pissed them off enough that they would come find me and try to get into a sticky battle. And usually my sticky battles were out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
So, I try to be around a corner. That way I could kind of go around real quick. But if I could get that guy just moving around trying to stick me and y'all are sniping him as I'm doing it, hey.
Clint's strategies make them so mad at me that they make a mistake.
Right.
Yes.
And then me and Alex and Hammy were just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, just sitting there like I throw a sticky grenade and kill the guy, so he's gonna come back at me. So I'm sitting there doing full blown Three Stooges, waiting for him to chase me, and I round the corner, and as I walk through the door, Hammy kills him.
Well, what I really remember was Reach was the first one that introduced
the power ups.
The power
those
ups.
armor abilities.
And I remember we played that game so much that we could literally say bubble or help or whatever it was. Because I always use the bubble.
You go in the overcharge, the
Yeah, someone go in armor lock. We'd all be standing around and waiting for it to run out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we go in armor lock. And if I'm not mistaken, did you have to hold armor lock down the whole entire time? And then whenever it come out, it did the EMP charge?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or could you just go down and let go and then do the EMP charge?
I do not remember.
I don't know.
Because I was always real bad about going down in armor lock and then coming out and then going right back down into it. Because as soon as you come out, they're going to try to bump you because your health's down too. You're one shot at that point. So I'd always save it, pump out, and then pump back down. So when they come back up and hit me, I come out of it again real quick and then elbow.
We got really good at knowing where the threshold for the EMP thing was.
Yeah.
And staying outside of that.
I just remember yelling bubble, 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 or need help, and like literally y'all would come like a plague,
and
kill whoever's gonna
kill that one
me.
guy, then we'd all die.
No,
I mean, plague of locusts.
What was y'all go ahead and answer? We've got to talk about while I'm here your favorite Halo maps.
Okay, we can do that.
My favorite Halo game.
Halo thing, but okay.
My favorite Halo game is 3. It's because of the memories we had, because I'd played 1 and 2 before.
Sure.
But 3 was the one that sold us all on Xbox 360.
Right. And I've told this story multiple times, so I'll spare the full details. But
yeah, because y'all were PlayStation guys. I was a Nintendo guy.
Right. And I had the 360, but got rid of it because the NCAA football game was terrible for it.
Yeah. And Superman Returns.
And Superman Returns. And, when I finally got it back, everybody's like, Halo, Halo, Halo.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm not playing Halo. I got my butt kicked in Halo 1. I refuse to play. It's got this big, huge controller. I ain't used to it. I'm not going to do all that kind of stuff.
But then came 360.
But then, then the
better.
360 came out, but then the game wasn't that great, and I didn't like it, so I, gave it to my cousin forever. And then when it finally came back, and we started playing, it was the 4-player co-op is what got me into Halo. Because that was the first time you did the 4-player co-op.
No, you didn't get rid of that 360 after you got Halo 3.
That's not what I was saying. Listen to what I said.
I thought you said.
No, I got rid of it. And gave it to my cousin for a while because I didn't like it. And then I got it back because y'all started doing Halo, Halo, Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what really sold me on Halo, because I was so against it, was somebody had brought it over because I didn't even own the game at the time. I bought it at Best Buy like 3 days after it come out.
Okay.
Because we all got together and played it over the weekend.
All right.
I think Alex got it.
Well, so yeah, Halo 3 be my favorite game.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm kind of with Casey though. I really did enjoy ODST because it kind of threw it back to Halo 1 a little bit.
Yeah, very underrated.
The story, where you're kind of replaying the events through other people or whatnot was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But there were aspects of it that I just didn't really gravitate toward. Reach, it took everything that was wrong with 3 and kind of polished the edges of it. You had multiple maps you could select from instead of just the one map and then a veto and then whatever the next map was.
Oh yeah.
So, you could veto what I think 3 different maps, it had 3 different game modes with 3 different maps on every one. I think you could veto, say none. So you had map 1, map 2, map 3, and none. And I think you could do none twice. So you had 3 different sets of 3 maps that you could approve as a unit online. So, but I'm with you from a campaign standpoint. That's what really sold me on it because we had so much fun playing through the campaign, which essentially what that did is helped us get better at the aiming aspect and everything for when we went online. And then we played so much online where we'd stay up for almost days at a time, like minimal sleep during the weekends.
Do you remember?
And just having so much fun.
Remember how bad we sucked at Halo 3 at first?
Oh, God, yes.
I remember the first game we won because you remember they had the rankings.
Right.
And we got on the game on Last Stand, big fan, the beach, with a bunch of generals.
Right.
We're like, guys, let's just have fun with this. We went down to the beach and camped.
Yeah.
And time ran out. No one met the score, but we had more points, so we won.
Yeah.
We trash talked them so bad, but after that, it just clicked with us. We started getting better and started winning.
Well, we found out that communication was a huge key to it. We had a lot of lone wolves that would go out instead of a bunch of teams. And
Alex.
And so it made a big difference. But yeah, my answer to that is definitely going to be 3. I had a lot of fun with Reach, but as far as my favorite, it's still got to be 3.
Yeah, just because of the memories with it.
Sure.
And which, by the way, Casey, you said you liked the DMR. That was your gun.
See,
I was a BR guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the 3 burst, right?
Yeah.
The only thing about that, I found it harder to get that last shot of the burst in the head than I did the single shot with the DMR for me.
It's almost like a recoil kind of thing. Cause
you had to start in the chest and work your way up.
Right.
And when they're moving, it's like you had to spray. It's almost like you had to predict. With the DMR, I could just be on it and go.
Right.
Oh, and the bloom and all that with the DMR. I think it was different with the BR, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And say, like, we found some pretty cool people to run with there for a little while. You remember Ticklish Pilot?
No, but I remember G-Rilla.
G-Rilla was one. Ticklish Pilot was this girl that we went in with, and she no, she was.
It was a joke.
Okay. I have no idea what her name is now. I mean, there's probably 0 chance she ever listens to this, but like she helped us kind of, or helped me anyway, kind of cut my teeth on a lot of
like
stuff.
Casey and I played with. We met up with some girl on Destiny that would play with us. She was in a whole other part of the country. She's way better than we were.
Oh, she carried us through, right?
Yeah, she did.
Well, I know.
Puke.
Yep.
I remember Alex and Kaylor said they played a lot of it back in the day too, and said that they would run with a couple of guys that just basically taught them how to get really, really good with a sniper rifle. Yeah, there was G-Rilla that was really good with the sniper. And
God, he was so good at no scoping.
Oh, it's crazy. And then Colton actually got pretty good there for
Colton
a little while.
Did get good.
And then he just kind of got out of it. So Colton in Texas, if you're listening to this is on you.
He'll never listen because he can't type words into searches. But anyway,
No,
Colton, yes, after 15 years, I'm still giving you crap because that's what I do. So
well, that's what I do also. And
yeah,
I'm family, so
I'm extended family.
Extended family. There you go.
So anyway, maps. Favorite maps.
Sure.
On Halo, all time, go.
Valhalla.
All right. That's just one. I said plural, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, plural? Valhalla, definitely. High Ground.
Which one? Remind me.
High ground was the one where
had the
you come up-
base
yeah, had the
at
base.
the top where you could push the little button and open up the gates.
Yeah, and the bunker, the machine gun over it.
Which game?
3.
Oh, okay, I don't know it.
I'm trying to think of one from Reach. I do want to give Reach some love because I did like
Boardwalk.
Reach. Boardwalk was good. I like Countdown. All right.
Final countdown. How many times do we do that?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Oh, but no, those two would be mine for sure. With me being pretty much an only Reach player, would be Countdown and Boardwalk. And Valhalla, I mean, is iconic.
Yeah, it is. And they brought it back in 4.
What was it called?
Ragnarok. in 4.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, Blood Gulch, if you're earlier than
Was
that.
Thor there?
Well, Blood Gulch is a little different. I mean, it's the same general idea, but they brought it back too. You had Battle Creek. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Battle Creek was okay. There's some of those maps that just I didn't do well on, so they weren't my favorite.
Some of them we had to work out. Like, what was the one? I think it was in Reach that had the satellite dish in the middle.
That
and
was
a
3.
Tower.
That was 3.
No. That was it was a Forge map.
Oh,
But it was
yeah,
a
I know what you're talking
remake of an old
okay.
Halo 2 map, and I can't remember the name of it.
about. I'm thinking of Standoff.
There's another.
That one was
Standoff.
tough because there was no cover anywhere.
Standoff was good. That's where we did our A-team thing. In Halo 2, there's a map that I really loved. If you can find it.
See, was Halo 2 multiplayer good?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was some consider it better than 3. I didn't play it much,
Wow.
but it was really good. I never played it online, but I did play it local, and it was great.
So for those of you who can't see, Clint has
Lockdown. That's actually it. The one I was thinking about.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Lockdown was a really good map.
All right, so Stone Town is just like, crap, what'd you call it in 3?
Last Stand.
Yeah, Last Stand. Shrine, Skyward, Nebula, Remnant.
Isn't that a new game that just came out on PC?
Maybe.
I think so.
They're adding Reach to this, by the way.
Really?
I like how we're all silent as Clint
Well,
cycling
yeah,
through the
I'm
maps.
trying to go through the maps real quick here on Master Chief
Oh,
Collection.
man, yeah.
Epitaph was a good lone wolf duel or team doubles or whatever.
Yeah, I did like Guardian. I remember
I
Guardian.
did remember
Which
Guardian.
one's the one on? It's either 3 or Reach, but the one where you could run through and like there's holes in the floor and you drop down and there was one little section outside that had like 3 tunnels that would go through.
I think you're talking about Guardian.
That may have
Yeah.
been Countdown
Yeah.
actually.
There's High Ground, Casey, that had the bunker.
I loved High Ground.
I mean, I can go into it if I need to. but
No.
Isolation was a decent one because that was one that got selected
Oh, yeah.
a lot on the early days.
I vetoed it a lot.
Last
I did
Resort.
not like Last Resort.
Really?
Uh,
I liked it.
No.
Was Narrows the big bridge?
Yeah.
Yep. I did
Narrows,
like Narrows.
I could take it or leave it.
I like because you could snipe.
Sand Trap, I wasn't crazy about. I had the elephant.
I like Snowbound. I didn't like Boundless though, where it didn't
Yeah.
have the force field to keep all the grenades out.
I think the first time I ever played, because Snowbound had the underground
Yeah.
layer too. I think the first time I ever played competitive multiplayer was Snowbound.
The pit.
Pit was good.
The pit was
Race
very
to the
good.
rocket launcher.
Yeah.
There's classic Valhalla. Foundry was one of those that come through on a DLC.
I liked Foundry.
I didn't.
You didn't? They had all the shipping containers and everything in it?
I was, even though that's the only place I ever got a Killtacular, I didn't like it.
I could take or leave Rat's Nest. It was good at points.
Yeah, it was hit or miss.
Standoff was the one I thought you were talking about with the big satellite dish.
Had the laser, had the
No.
Warhogs. We'd
18.
No, this
18.
was a very small map.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
It
I
just
know what
had
you're talking
a
about now.
dish in the middle and 2 sniper towers.
Avalanche is another DLC map. Some of these DLCs we didn't play a whole lot.
Yeah,
of.
because we were.
That's a huge map, by the way.
Yeah,
that
it is.
Avalanche.
Hey,
Blackout's the
the
remake
old-
of.
Right. It's
Bible.
a oil rig.
Yeah, it's the
They
remake
just kind
of
of
the two.
different it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome to Ham and Spam's retro review of Halo 3 maps.
Hey,
Ghost
we really
Town,
should
I
have.
didn't like.
I didn't mind it so much, but you had to know where you're going and what you're picking up. Like if you didn't know, you're up the creek. Cold Storage was a free map.
Yeah,
for
it
Bungie
came out
Day.
in 7.7.7,
Seven. Yeah.
which is a remake as well.
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember Assembly or Orbital for that matter.
I remember Assembly. This is the ones that had the skulls that you had to get within the multiplayer maps to get the achievements.
Oh,
Sandbox was one. We had to build that big tube
Oh,
going way
yeah.
way
Ugh.
out.
No, I didn't like it.
I should remember Citadel. I do remember Citadel. Citadel was the one. It had a energy train in it and a bunch of the maulers and stuff.
Okay.
What was the
Don't remember
one in
Heretic.
3 that you ran around with a sword and like it was almost like an alien mall or something?
I do remember Longshore.
That one was.
I
you're
didn't
talking
play
about
it very
Casey. I
much.
think was Assembly.
Those
Either
indoor
Assembly-
and outdoor.
I think it's either Assembly or Heretic.
Oh,
4 had some good maps.
this is probably not thrilling.
The drift
podcast
was
content.
I remember Adrift.
I like Longbow.
Did we play 4
There's
a lot?
Ragnarok.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember when 4 came out?
Was that at my house?
Yeah, we came
we
out.
okay.
all come to your house.
4 TVs, 4 Xboxes, 4
Yep.
copies of Halo 4.
4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Less than that.
Played through the whole campaign. Played a lot of multiplayer.
I think I had to get my wife to go get eye drops because we were all
Yeah,
like
you did.
just
Yeah.
bloodshot. Poor wife.
I don't remember a lot of these.
I don't either.
We didn't play too much. I don't think.
Well.
4.
So yeah, multiplayer maps. The ones on Halo 3 and the ones on Halo Reach.
Yeah.
The original ones on Halo 3 and the original ones on Halo Reach.
It kind of goes. I think Halo's a good kind of carrier of we talk about retro gaming
Sure.
to current. I think from where you start with the original Halo 1 to where you were at least with 5 kind of takes you through a trip of how the gaming industry has changed.
Oh, yeah.
With them introducing those stupid packs, and all that on 5. I mean, this was really good. I mean, Halo, I've went back and played 1 and 2 through the campaign.
Sure, I have too.
And the story is really good. The gameplay is excellent. And then you get to 5, and I would honestly say, I don't know when it switched, but the story in 5 is a lot better than the multiplayer. And to me, I've always been a multiplayer guy with these kind of games. So, like, y'all cared more about the story for 3 and Reach and all that. And
Right.
I didn't. That's the one we played the most on 3 when I played with y'all.
Yeah, high ground. I hated 5. I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I like the music from it.
Yeah.
I think it's got a good story. It's just it didn't have enough Master Chief. They tried to make it too much like 2.
Yeah.
So with the back and forth
And
story,
it
but
was
just
so
didn't put enough.
It was so linear.
Well, I honestly think here's the reason why you hated it is because they built it up with the commercials, and the commercials didn't live up to what that game actually was.
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
The story just, I didn't care for it because it completely did away with everything that happened in 4.
Yeah.
And
And I like 4.
I hated the multiplayer in 5.
Yeah, I didn't like
It got way different.
Halo does not need aim down sights and sprinting.
Nope. That makes it a Modern Warfare game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look, run to the beach. Look what you're doing. You know what you're doing?
Running.
Your gun is up the whole time.
Yep.
You're ready to fight. If you're sprinting, your gun's down. So, I mean, and aim down sights, I mean, you don't need it because that's accurate.
You have a reticle.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. I've noticed this over all your podcasts that y'all seem to always mention the music.
Yeah.
That's something I did not know, even though I've known y'all pretty much my entire life, that y'all were so into in games. And I didn't, it's never really been on the top of my list when I play games. But now that y'all keep mentioning it, I've kind of noticed it on games. Like, okay, I pay more attention than I thought I'd do. Is it something as you've gotten older that y'all pay more attention to going back through these games? Or is it something y'all have always paid attention to?
Well, I've always kind of noticed that some of these games have really good soundtracks.
Like Halo's an easy one because there's some epic levels.
Right.
Especially like, what is it, the last level of 3?
Yeah.
I mean...
Where's the switch to open the stupid door?
Is it on the bridge?
Clint's playing Halo 3 at the
I'm
moment.
in Forge. I was just showing some stuff, but
Look on the. It's not on the.
And again, this is excellent podcast.
I can't remember
content.
Well, now I'm. Isn't that Bunker? Wow, I can't remember. I could have taken you right to it 10 years ago. Yeah.
Anyway, what was the question?
We're talking about sound, music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because honestly, a lot of these right here, I would get on Pandora. Before I had the unlimited Spotify, I would get on Pandora and I'd type in like Halo 3 and just run through a lot of the stuff. And it's killing Hammy. He's going to try to find out where the switch is. But I would listen to it just as background music and just it'd just be good. And
your A button doesn't work.
Are you trying to jump?
Yeah.
Bumper jumper.
What?
Oh, you and your stupid controls. I remember that.
Don't change it, because then I got to change it back.
Ugh. Y'all should talk about that sometime.
Remember when Colton would go up to that stupid radio and say, listen, they're cheating.
Yeah, they put cheat codes in.
Colton.
But no, like older games, I think about like the music. It was just...
Well, it was unique how they had to do it, too, because, they only had so many little sounds and dips and dabbles and stuff that they could put into.
And they got so creative with it.
Sure. I mean, you can go and find a lot of these soundtracks and just listen to them and know exactly what it... Donkey Kong Country has got to be the first one I remembered that from.
Oh, yeah.
How great. Bah.
That was loud.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you have to extend that cutoff time. That way you can take the echo out, too. So...
Now, I have noticed over time, I didn't notice it while I was playing the game, but now that I hear,
right,
whether it be in a movie or whatever, I'll hear a song and be like, hey, that's from that game,
right,
blah, blah, blah. And it takes you back to a time and place. I think that's the power of what music and video games has, is it'll take you back to, where and when you were playing a specific game. So.
Well, that, and then too, it'll kind of make you think about that epic moment, like you were talking about in the last level of Halo 3, or even like in a movie, the Avengers soundtrack. You can tell at what point, like when Captain America picked up the hammer, and you're like, all right, here comes some smackdown.
By the way, Guardians of the Galaxy has the best soundtrack of any superhero movie. Just
because it's actual music.
Yeah, and it's 80s.
So anyway, well, we're going to try to figure out where this button is for the rest of the afternoon, because we're struggling right now.
Keep going, because you got one more thing to talk about, don't you?
I don't have anything else to talk about.
I thought you did.
No, I'm not going on that rant because I'm afraid of what I'll say. So you already have to do enough editing as it is between coughs and when I interrupted you.
Sorry, I've had a cough.
No, it's fine, buddy. We're just giving you a hard
time.
time.
What Clint's avoiding, so the listeners know.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go.
Here it goes.
Clint, you do not have to reply to this. Hey, found the switch.
Hey, there it is. I went right by it the entire time.
B.
Are you
Hold B.
I was trying to hold X. There you go. Open the door.
Anyway,
there we go.
The question was asked. Was it a question or a statement?
It was a statement.
A statement was made because Clint, as we know, is adamantly anti-RPG.
I just don't enjoy them. I don't play them a whole lot.
Which makes you adamantly against them.
Not adamantly.
Just like you are PC gaming for whatever reason. And the statement was made, not by anybody in this room, but that NCAA football, which Clint adores, same as me, not only does it have RPG elements, the argument can be made that it is in itself an RPG. And that's the question that Mr. Spam is avoiding at the time. So just to let the listeners know. Clint, do you have any statement that you would like to make in response to that statement?
In that statement, I would like to make the following statement. I think that though it does have RPG elements,
it should just go straight beeps from here. Just like straight Mario coins.
No.
Here's my rebuttal.
Yeah.
I think that's the stupid. No.
Yeah.
I think it's got some RPG elements to it if you play in a season aspect where you are trying to get better. You're trying to get, your player better, your team better, win a championship, that kind of thing. Now, in the aspect of I get Alabama, you get Auburn, and we're playing just a single game, I do not agree with that because no one's actually getting better during that time. It's just
I could make the argument though that it's a real-time strategy game.
Okay.
At that point,
Okay.
What do you think of that, Hammy?
It's got elements of both.
Yeah.
But I can see the argument.
I mean, if
for
we're going to
RPG.
sit here and start critiquing the little things that you do in a sports game, whether it's a franchise mode or a single player mode, every game could be an RPG. Mario 1 could be an RPG, even though it's classified as action adventure / platformer, however you want to classify
Because you're
it.
playing the role.
Because
Of
you're
Mario.
still playing the role of Mario.
I mean, by definition, I think the standard thing that y'all kind of laid out in your previous podcast is if it has a skill tree, some type of character customization.
Okay.
As far as an evolution makes an RPG, right? Isn't that what y'all said previously? Something to that effect? Wasn't that the definition y'all laid out?
If it's got leveling, if it's got attributes, if
Right.
it's got, more stat based action rather than skill based.
Hey,
So what would you consider a sports game? Yeah, you've got stats.
Anything involving sports.
Okay, well
That's a game.
right.
Mario Tennis is a sports game.
But then you've got like Secret of Mana, which the combat in it is skill based rather than stat based, but it's considered an RPG. Because it's got.
Can we nerd out and talk RPGs for a while?
I'm all for it.
y'all go for it. Here's Clint signing off.
No, you can have input too.
Well, hold on before we table this argument.
I'm just trying to keep you from cursing profusely on this
well,
topic.
I'm gonna not curse profusely.
Okay.
I will turn that
because it's a valid statement.
It may be a valid statement, but at the same time, I mean, if you're going to get Alabama, who's the best team on the game on NCAA 14, don't roll your eyes. They are. That's a factual statement.
Are they? Are they the highest
They're the
ranked
highest
overall
rated,
team?
99s across the board as far as offense, defense, and special teams.
No wonder you got
overall.
mad when I beat you. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't play Alabama against you. Let's not go there.
That's true. You don't.
If you get what's the new team, South Alabama.
USA.
If you get South Alabama, you would go against Alabama. Okay, well, you've got the crappiest team on the game, or one of the crappiest teams, versus the best team on the game.
Right.
Okay, yeah, my quarterback for South Alabama that might be a 58 is going against, I guess that would be A.J. McCarron, who's maybe a 99 overall quarterback. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I mean, yeah, that's stat-based, but does that make it an RPG? You're not advancing that stat as the game goes on.
Well,
In a single-player game.
well,
now,
that's
if you
not
give me
entirely true.
If you give me 4 years to build up South Alabama, then I play Alabama and their new starting quarterback who may be a 99.
Well, the newer football games, I can't recall if it's NCAA or Madden that did it, but the attributes start to change based on the performance on the field throughout the game. So that's a whole new element to the
I
argument.
think that was later, but sure, yeah. But that's also why a lot of people are kind of meh on some of the newer Madden games. And
Well,
stuff.
Madden's garbage. I got it this year.
20?
Yeah, garbage. Well, I mean, I got it like on the EA trial thing or whatever. It's garbage, but it's broken. That goes back to my argument about new games.
It's broken, and Madden has turned into fantasy football on Madden because you do this Madden team
Ultimate
or whatever.
Team, yeah.
Right? So, do people actually get on there and play with the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New England Patriots anymore? No.
I mean, I think the majority of players have transitioned over to the Ultimate Team,
right? Because
it's just a money grab too. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's the same as
loot boxes.
I mean, eventually, I think the gamer community is going to have to. I think we've done a good job as a community of kind of boycotting pre-orders. They've gone down, I think.
Oh yeah, because everything's going digital.
Well, and I think people are just tired of getting burnt. When you talk about games like, and Hammy's familiar with it, but like No Man's Sky, just the disaster that it was when it first came out, I think it's kind of bitten gamers one too many times. And a lot of people like myself won't pre-order a game anymore. Where me and you used to stand in line for NCAA football to go get our pre-orders. But Hammy, do you plan on playing what is it, Sky Oblivion or whatever on PC when it's released? There's two of them
I
right
have
now.
to see it first.
Is it Skywind and
I'd have to see it in action.
for y'all that don't know, and this will probably be edited out. I hope it is. But for you too, you never played Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind or anything.
And it's funny that we kind of circle all the way back to this, where I was talking, kind of went on my rant a little bit of why people get rid of games. Where I bought your 360.
Oh, it came with it.
I got Skyrim. It's right there.
Okay.
I've never inserted it into the Xbox. I've never played it.
Well, what the community did, and this is an argument. I know you're not anti PC really, but anyway, you've never really got into PC gaming,
right?
One of the cool things, like the community has actually gone in and they're modding Skyrim's engine, and they're recreating both Oblivion and Morrowind using the Skyrim engine to give people an update that the publisher didn't, or the developer didn't. So that's kind of the cool thing with.
Well, see, I don't know why they don't do that on a lot of these games. A lot of these games are fantastic games. They just need to be updated to be able to work on like today's technology. So do an HD remake, and there's a ton of them out there.
I think you have to look at it from a business point of view, and
what's a licensing point of view.
Well, even if the same studio is going to remake it,
mm-hmm.
you got to think a lot of people aren't going to buy the same game twice. I know we do, but a lot of people aren't. But it's just not worth the time.
Well, look at Grand Theft Auto 5. I got it for 360, and then a year later it came out for Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I ended up with both copies.
And like I said, you're one of the rare ones. I don't think a lot of people, the not hardcore gamers, are willing to purchase the same game twice.
Yeah, but I think you don't get the casual gamer so much anymore, though. You don't have people that just buy Grand Theft Auto 5 just because it's on 360. That's the first system it came out on, and all of a sudden there's a new system out there with the same game, but you have to have the new game in order to play it online with your buddies and all that.
You just made me think of a question.
Okay.
And I know this will probably be cut out.
All of this right here probably be cut out.
Yeah.
We'll just go straight questions.
Yeah. What this is just us talking. But what is there a game out there aside from Halo 3 that would make y'all buy a console? Because I have one specific game where I bought a PS4 just for this one game.
No.
There's nothing?
No.
For you, Hammy?
The only thing that could have done it might have been the Metal Gear series, because Metal Gear 4, and I talked about this, Metal Gear Solid 4 came out for PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I know, it's not been released for anything else.
Gotcha.
And I loved the Metal Gear series.
Right.
But I didn't love it enough to buy a PlayStation 3. So I don't think there's anything, Now, I do say that to say that when NCAA 07 came out, I bought a 360.
I mean, I was there with you
for that game.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come out of PlayStation 3, and we were so pumped to see the new graphics.
And then it sucked.
Zelda's always still Nintendo for me.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Zelda. But yeah, we both bought a Switch. We got a good friend of ours to hunt down a Switch for us. Eric, if you're listening, thank your wife. I think she actually did it.
Yeah.
But appreciate that. Tyler enjoys the Switch now. But for me, it was, going with the sports thing. Like MLB The Show is a Sony exclusive.
Right. And I would like to play that game.
And I'm a big baseball guy, and
Well, I'm not, but I would like to play that game, but I'm not going to buy a PlayStation just to play it.
It's not as worth it as Zelda is to the Switch, but I've probably put 200-300 hours into the show, and I don't have a lot of time to play, so that's a pretty big commitment for me. One more question.
Okay. That's what we're here for. Bonus episode.
What is your...
#bonus episode.
What do you have, if you had to guess, because like Steam on PC keeps up with your hours played.
Okay.
What is your highest
NCAA football
hour
14.
game? You think so?
14 specifically because it's the last one, and
you've went back and played.
I've gone back and played it a ton. Going back and start through dynasties and stuff. If that is off the table,
yeah, we'll go anti NCAA.
I've put a lot of time into Tiger Woods. I put a lot of time.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I put a lot of time in probably Assassin's Creed 4.
Which one was for?
The
Black
Black Flag.
Yeah.
Halo 3.
Halo 3. Yeah. I don't say, because you say games, and I automatically think the game itself, not the multiplayer. That's
no, I'm just talking about total time of had that game on actually playing it.
Right.
That title.
It's got to be probably Halo 3 or Halo Reach.
For you too? 3?
Even more so than Mass Effect and all these others.
Yeah, well, I
you
mean,
played through Mass Effect several. Even more so than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a few hundred hours in those, but how many hours have I got in Halo 3?
That's true. Hey, we'll probably go to Bungie.net and find that out. Seriously.
Probably.
I won't try that.
As they
Keep
pull out
talking,
their phones. Mine.
I know what yours is.
What?
Rocket League.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know. I've got over 700 hours in Rocket League.
Holy gosh almighty, man.
I think you got more in
No?
Reach.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think it's like 715. But I mean, it's been out. I've been playing it since like 2014 or something.
I've got a lot in Destiny and probably Destiny 2.
Yeah, you do. But not that much, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think so either. But I mean, that's a game I really only play because I want to play co-op with my friends.
It's that hangout game.
It is.
It's chill. Run around, shoot stuff.
Wow, their website is strictly Destiny 2.
They've forgotten their Halo roots.
They have.
Probably so.
Yeah, that's it. I can't find anything on it.
Really?
You're at Bungie.net?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep, 404, page not found. Wonder if all that stuff moved over to 343.
Shouldn't have.
Oh, I was going to say it shouldn't have.
Bungie, reach out to us on social media at Ham and Spam.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's got all my history for...
I think there's an
Destiny.
app, actually.
Yeah. No, game history, no games found. There was one for Halo Reach and I think Halo 4 that would keep up with a lot of that stuff.
There was, because I remember you could log... I actually did it not that long ago. That's what is making me confused that y'all can't find it. Because I actually logged on and I could see my KD for every game.
Yeah, like my little avatar, is a default avatar, but my avatar and everything's still the same from Halo 3, but it just says no games found.
Wow.
That's crazy. They just and it might be a licensing thing, but I remember looking at this all the time, figuring out where the hotspots were.
Oh yeah.
Man.
What your
I think they even came out with a companion app for one of the games, didn't they? That you could have pulled up.
They did. They sure did.
Yeah.
I think didn't they cover the maps in not real time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, they like you maybe.
I think it was you. Yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't show everyone else. That'd be
cheating.
Yeah, a whole lot of it.
Yeah, but I know they would put it like a timer. Like if somebody put, a sniper rifle, it would be back in 90 seconds. You could start a timer for it.
Yeah,
to figure out.
I do remember that.
Whenever it would come back.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff there. So
yeah, it's just for Destiny 2.
Well, I'm done with Bungie. I will never play Destiny. I've not played Destiny.
Have you not?
Mm-mm.
It's very grindy.
Here on the Ham and Spam current game review.
Yeah. It's very grindy. It takes a lot of time. Well, it really doesn't take a lot of time to get up to max level or close to max level, but to get to actual max level, get all the guns you want.
Is it primarily a campaign or primarily online?
There is no campaign.
Yeah, there's a campaign.
What?
But it's online.
Yeah, everything's...
Is it kind of like Titanfall?
No.
It's like a...
If you want it to be, it can be. But they got PvE and PvP. PvE is player versus environment, which is going to be your co-op, what you're thinking campaign.
Sure. Right.
Then you've got PvP, which is player versus player.
We never play PvP.
No.
Unless it was part of like a Crucible challenge or something.
So I don't understand why you would ever do something like that. I mean, why?
Hang out with your friends?
No. I'm not saying that. Why would games get rid of the campaign? And I think that's another thing too.
It's not that I got rid of it. And I said there is no campaign because I think a campaign is solo or, like together co-op. Right. But I mean, do you even consider that a campaign, though? I mean, it's a story. I mean...
The story.
The story, yeah.
We'll see, I mean...
Because you've got the PvE stuff is going to be you got the story. You've got these things called strikes. You've got free roam on the planets. You've got raids.
Well, like all the campaigns have just gone to crap, meaning that they're not long anymore. There's very little that goes into it. a lot of people buy a game for online. I understand that, but they've completely shunned, in my opinion, a lot of the campaign stuff. Halo 5, for instance. We're going to throw the story out there, but we're going to focus more on multiplayer.
Yeah.
But like Casey said, the multiplayer to me isn't that great. I play, Warzone?
Yeah.
I play Warzone more than I do any of the matchmaking stuff.
Well, here's the thing. As a developer, as a publisher of the game, I can't really make a lot of money off you, the gamer, in campaign.
Yeah, if I sell you a game and you play it, no matter how much you like it, I've only
Made
sold the game.
$60, yeah.
But if I can sell you a bunch of other stuff and do all this online multiplayer, hey, we got skins. Hey, buy this, buy that.
Well, and that goes back to our argument against all of this with, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
And then
we've complained about this stuff, but yet, I mean, that's capitalism at work. You got to do whatever you can to make the most money on this product.
Well, I mean, the only way they get away from it is if people stop spending money. And that's not going to happen.
No, you're right.
And really all this started with mobile gaming.
And I mean, like I said, if it's something you can see and say, okay, I'll give you $5 for that, but I know I'm getting that, then okay, whatever, let them do it.
Right.
I mean,
random loot box stuff.
You don't have to do it. But yeah, the loot box stuff.
Yeah.
Like Mass Effect 3, I did like their multiplayer, but I hated that aspect of it because if you wanted certain characters or weapons, you had to buy a loot box. Now you could play 10 games in a row and buy a loot box, or hey, here's some actual cash.
Yeah,
I can get it now.
And that's all it is. It's just, what is the easiest way we can get you to continue to play our game so you'll continue to spend money?
Yeah.
How can we do that?
How can we get your money?
Yeah. And I think, eventually it's just going to have, the gamers are going to have to just stop spending money. And that's never going to happen. So,
it never will.
No.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up, man. I'm hungry.
I think I'm questioned out.
Yeah.
This might be a 2-hour-long podcast.
Oh, when did we start? When did I get here?
I don't know.
It's 5:05.
It's 5:05. Holy gosh. Casey got here about what, 2?
No, I'd say 1 probably. Hammy said on his way at 1:48.
So 2.
We started probably about 2:30.
Well, there you go. 2.5 hours. This
Hammy,
will be our
you got a
longest
lot
one.
of editing to do, buddy.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
take
do.
forever to upload.
Yeah.
You might want to get me this on episode 24 so I can start uploading it in time for 25.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, well guys, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, hit us up on social media.
Oh, we did forget something.
What's that?
Nicknames for Jeff and Jeremy.
Oh gosh almighty, totally forgot about that. All right, Jeremy. What would be a good nickname for Jeremy?
We'll go roast beef.
Okay.
Jeremy, you are from here on out. I hereby christen you as
Even
I
did the hand
gesture with my
motions.
hands. You are roast beef
Okay.
from Ham and Spam. RB for short.
RV.
He'll like that.
You think so?
Yeah, he's a beef eater.
where are we going with
From
this, guys?
Arby's.
Huh?
From Arby's.
We have the meats.
I like roast beef. You buy at the deli.
Oh, okay.
Now, I mean, if you've got a counter argument,
I don't have a counter argument. I think I like it. I kind of want to call Jeff pot roast. I don't know why.
pot roast. But I thought we were sandwich meats.
You can put pot roast on a sandwich. You've never had a pot roast sandwich?
No.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic.
I don't know that anybody in the history of the world, aside from possibly you, has ever had a pot roast sandwich. But
Yeah,
No, that's bull crap. Because
no, I'm just kidding. You put it on white
Like a-
bread. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an open faced roast beef sandwich.
Yeah.
It's pot roast.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not like sliced roast beef. It's pot roast.
Well, we've got pastrami. We've got salami. We've got
Pepperoni.
corned beef.
We got corned beef.
I think Jeff should be corned beef.
Corned beef?
So what is Casey?
And
Bologna.
Bologna.
no,
Bologna.
Jeff, you are now bologna. So I have to be bologna.
Bologna's already taken. We can't do that.
No.
Let's go
it's not.
pastrami for Jeff.
Pastrami. I'll have to remember that.
Pastrami. I mean, we're still going to call him Jeff and Jeremy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, how many times do I actually call you Spam?
Never.
Including here, never.
Yeah. So, roast beef and pastrami.
All right. and Canadian bacon
Somebody write that
and
down.
bologna. We have 6.
Not
Turkey.
bologna.
We got turkey.
Oh, we got turkey. There you go.
Not bologna.
Bologna.
I'm
And
I'm the glue that holds you two guys together.
Mayonnaise.
Not mayonnaise.
that works even better. I like it better.
Not mayonnaise.
You're a condiment. Good job. But keep in mind, if we ever get a listener in Hawaii, they're automatically pineapple. We're going pizza topping them.
Yeah.
Ham and pineapple. I'm hungry.
See? There you go. There you go. I think Carrie actually went by and got some crystals.
Oh my gosh, why are we still in here?
Guys, hit us up another time. We'll do another bonus episode probably for our 1-year anniversary. So it'll be around episode 52. I think that's when we talked about doing the next bonus episode. So y'all have plenty of time to get us some questions in. So always submit them anywhere on our social media. Remember hamandspam.com, run by Baloney himself. And
Run by and.
And leave us a review wherever you listen to this. We do appreciate those that have left reviews, and would love to hear some more, positive or negative.
I heard Bob from Bob's Big Buicks left a review.
Yeah, he was like one of our first reviews, actually.
Yeah.
I think he left a review before his commercial ran on her.
That's what y'all bought him off. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I digress.
Anyway, till next time, we'll see you guys for episode. Well, you're not getting this till 25, so you'll see us on a future episode. Thanks for listening.
Sometime.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully, possibly, maybe not.